Hello, everybody. It's been a long time since I've been here, but welcome to TCL Season 5. My name is ToastyTG. It's been a long time coming to be back on this broadcast, and I am here with our good pal Sandy Snake. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. We played together, was it 3 seasons ago? And I don't
Yeah,
think I've
bro.
got a chance to talk to you a lot since then.
Yeah, it's been quite a long time. Especially since I've dropped this game for Wild Rift, hilariously enough. But that doesn't mean I'm, rusty with my League of Legends knowledge. I still watch a ton of pro play, and I'm still actively a part of the scene. But it's good to be back in TCL, at least in some sort of capacity here. We have an amazing matchup for you guys tonight. We have the Pickled Packages versus the Dog Pound. Now, Sandy, let me tell you what, the Pickled Packages starting off the season a little rough with a 0-1 start, and the Dog Pound is looking very good. Especially since we get to see TJ So Beast in the 80 carry position. Now I know when we were talking a little bit before the broadcast, just catching up on each other's lives and whatnot, we did mention TJ in this 80 carry position. So why don't you go ahead and give me some of your thoughts on that, and just the general compositional structure of both teams and where they're playing.
Yeah, last week I believe it was Speedy who subbed in for TJ, so we'll kind of have to see how TJ does when he plays with the normal five, and then how TJ is as a player. Curious to see how he will do in a duo lane with someone. Like him and Blood, a lot of people talk up a lot, but they also function in roles that are isolated with each other for the most part. You know, it's 1 versus 1. Now it's 2v2. So let's see how his mechanics and his high elo game knowledge can translate into playing in a 2v2 situation. I think he's going to be correct. I think he's going to play some pretty aggressive picks, which is scary because Rudy plays some pretty aggressive supports like Rakan. He can play Nautilus, Amumu, Leona, and I think those can enable good playmaking with someone like TJ who wants to probably capitalize on that.
Right? And you're talking about the 2v2s, right? I'm not really too versed on the TCL meta, but there's always options for something like the Xayah Khan, like you mentioned. We did get a little bit of a sneak peek in terms of the Callista pick. That is something I'm really excited to see. Callista's always been one of those champions that kind of always managed to sneak her way through when you least expect it, especially in the TCL meta. But if I had to guess between both of these compositions, we're going to be seeing giant meatball front to back standard comps here from both sides. And when we think about that, right, we think about things like the Lucianami and the Zeri Lulu as well, which I don't think anybody in the league has picked up the Zeri, at least to my knowledge. But then again, I've also haven't really watched a lot of this season. This is going to be my first time actually seeing a full best of 3 set in quite some time. And we're already seeing the Graves band taken away already. I'm assuming that's a Frige,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, he plays, I would say, pretty stock standard aggressive meta junglers. Like you can already see them here. Gragas, Graves. I know he played Rumble, which isn't super meta, but it kind of falls into the aggressive part of it. I would assume things like Wukong, Lee Sin are right up his alley too. He, when we played him last week, was the aggressor and the main playmaker of the team. So I'll take mids. Teams already kind of showing that they want to put a little bit less focus. They want to put more focus into him, um, giving him something that's less comfortable for him to play. Ooh, Varus ban. I think Varus is super good. We
Yes.
haven't seen too many Varus bans. I think we've seen 2 Varus games so far. I think Varus is one of the best AD carries, and I'm surprised more people haven't picked it up or played it. TJ Smart. It's a good ban against him because I'm assuming he would like to pick it, or he at least knows how to play it well.
Yeah, for sure. And Varus is a very versatile 80 carry pick. You can play him both the on hit variant and also the poke variant. So he can fit 2 different champion archetypes in one. So to ban that away from TJ is going to be very smart. But we are going to see the first pick, Leona from Rudy. I don't really like this a whole lot. And the reason why I don't like this a whole lot is because you have champions that you could pick to counter this already, right? Things with the Braum, the
Mhm.
Morgana, also another one that a lot of people like to throw out there into this matchup. If I was Swiss here, I'd be foaming at the mouth because the lane is my oyster, and here it is, right?
Yep, good
Uh,
call.
We see the Braum already being taken here. Now, there's a lot of champions that can go with this Braum, right? There could be the Ezreal for a super defensive lane. There could be a Lucian for something super aggressive or defensive, right? We can see a lot of different AD carry picks, but it's going to be the Lee Sin picked up for Frige already.
Yeah, and something about this draft that's interesting too, why I don't like that first pick, Leona, is there. Well, there it is, the Kindred.
Ooh.
Bunny Remix is a huge Kindred. He's basically like a Kindred main. His second highest champion played was Lilia. So they have an idea of what they want to do here because they dropped the Kindred ban and for Lilia. I agree. I don't know if I like Leona blind pick. I don't know if they thought it was contested. They're afraid to go against it because someone like Swiss, like he has so many champs that he is comfortable playing. You know he would have something to play into Leona, and Brahm's such a turbo pick. Brahm's actually turbo into this draft so far. So far, I think they're winning the
Oh.
draft. Oh man, that's
Oh wow, that's just so good there from the pickled packages there. Take a look at this beautiful 1 through 3 draft from them. The Braum, the Lee Sin, and the Cassiopeia. Two champions already that really nullify the engage potential here from all three of the members on the dog pound. And like I said, right, like the Leona seems like a very advantageous pick. For Rudy, I really don't really understand what the idea behind that is, especially when things like the Jinx are open, the Zarya are open, the Lucian is open, right? Like
yeah.
I would argue that TJ probably is one of the better Lucian players if you put him in that position.
Yeah, I agree. Don't forget, guys. We're gonna try to bring in some guests here eventually, just so you guys can comment on the draft, see if we're saying anything wrong. Yeah, we have like a super heavy engage comp versus a kiting disengage comp, which man, this I think this is going to be really hard for the dog pound. I don't know how much Kindred is going to be able to do here. Lee Sin can kick people off the Kindred R.
Yeah.
It's going to be so hard to get around Cassio if she plays her engage right, or the engages right, because most of the time, even if people pick poke comps or side laning comps in TCL, we just always tend to ARAM it around objectives, and Kindred's not a good flanker, so if Kindred's going to try to play a front-to-back team fight, I don't think she's ever going to get in range to kill anyone with this Cassiopeia R and the Cassiopeia W. Sivir's just adding on top of this. She's going to give a ton of movement speed and kiting potential, a bunch of AoE autos. This is a pretty easy to execute draft from right side here. I'm not seeing the angle on the engage and how Dog Pound makes this work.
Yeah, and just like we were mentioning a little bit before here, the Callista being picked up here from TJ So Beast, and there it is, the classic microscopic Rick Scion, which is a player that I haven't been able to talk about a whole lot yet, especially since I came back into the server, and I was like, what the hell? Rick won a TCL season? I was insanely impressed, and this guy is just probably the most improved player in the TCL, and it's going to be the Music Mordekaiser, which is another staple pick for them. But just looking at the drafts, man, I'll tell you what, right? Like, I really like the Pickle Packages draft here. It is a classic disengage style draft. You can do a lot of things with it. There's a lot of versatility. You have the Mordekaiser that's able to pull somebody out of any fights, and primarily it's probably going to be that Kindred. They're going to be pulling out of fights, but on the same end, right? We also have champions on the side of the Dog Pound where they're really big meatball champions. Diana for all take mid, a classic champion for him. He absolutely knows how to pilot that champion in any matchup, so I definitely don't want to sleep on that draft. But Sandy, I gotta be honest with you, man. Who do you think is taking home? Because I really like the pickle packages draft so far.
Well, the good thing about Dog Pound is they have people on comfort. Leona for Rudy, super comfortable. He knows how he wants to play. He knows how he wants to play the character. Rick has done such a good job the seasons that I've played. I haven't played every season, but the ones that I've seen him play, he does really well on tanks that are low resource, and he does a good job at using the limited amount of resources he has to the full extent. Kindred is a super bunny champion. Diane is a super I'll take mid champion. So like they have their comfort picks. But if we're just gonna take nameplates off, I would totally take right side draft. I think they could totally stuff the engage. They have lane prio with mid. They can push with Sivir. They can choose to hold with Sivir. They can have some early playmaking with Lee Sin. And and in isolation, Mordekaiser is going to beat Scion. So if I'm going to choose, it would be Pickled Package, just based on comp.
Yeah, another thing too, right? We have to talk about that Sivir tech, right? To be able to get the cheetah recall off the first two waves.
Yeah.
If Droid executes that perfectly, they're going to be in a very advantageous position. And as well as the dog pound able to be able to fight them early on with that Callista early game damage, I really like the idea of the Sivir Braum, right? The first pick Leona, again, to be honest with you, might be a little sus, but I can completely understand it. I don't think Rudy plays too many enchanters. Um, but you know, you're picking what you want, and what they wanted was the Leona, so I'm totally okay with that, especially since it's a comfort pick. Um, a player that I don't have any knowledge of, and you might, Sandy, is Bunny Remix. I have no idea what this guy plays other than the Lilia. That was something that was mentioned to me in passing. But the Kindred, once again, as a response to the Lee Sin, it's just gonna be pure comfort for them. I have no clue how well they're going to be able to execute this champion, and I'm really excited to see it because I don't think there's a whole lot of Kindred players in the TCL.
No, there's not. And so I haven't got a chance to play against Buddy Remix, but I got to cast the last game he played. He's done a good job at finding openings on opposite sides of the map where the other jungler isn't, and then he's made good plays on awkward situations for laners. So he seems like he's got a good idea when he sees someone a little overextended, or if he sees a trade go in favor of his laner. He seems quick to respond, and he's got a lot of kills where the laner is sub 50% HP. So he seems to be in the right spot at the right time for those things. We've seen some times where he's felt awkward in the later stages of the games, but his early objective control and pathing to either avoid the other jungler to make pressure somewhere else or to capitalize on lane advantages has been good. This is his bread and butter champion. I think this season, I could be wrong, he's had over 200 games on Kindred. Uh,
Wow.
I could be wrong. Hang on, I might have just kind of let me
if
double
that's
check it.
if that's true, we have a Kindred champion on our hands here, ladies
He
and
has
gentlemen.
he's got 223 games, which is like way more than I even have like in total of ranked. So
Wow.
he's already he's up his comfort zone. But obviously Kindred is like super fragile. She could get blown up easily in the early game. There's always an angle for Lee Sin to jump on him if he doesn't have his if Kindred doesn't have her jump up. So there's tons of angles for it to go wrong. I trust Bunny's gonna have good pathing to find the marks, to find quick cleanup kills. Last series, he did a really good job at getting all the heralds. If I remember right, like I feel like he got like 80% of the heralds in his last season or in his last series. So I have faith that he knows how to play it, but again, I just feel like the ease of the composition from Caridian's team is high. And they played our team last week, and they kind of got stomped in 2 games. I have a feeling they're going to come back in this series with a little bit more to prove because I think most people look at this lineup and you have really good players, really strong players. So I think that week one probably jump started them a little bit here.
Yeah, we're going to have to take a look at the mentality of the teams here because TCL can absolutely be a mental warfare environment. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Game one happening in just a moment here. I'm not able to see. There was a little bit of a issue on production side, but we will get that all situated here in just a moment for you. Once again, the Callista, I can't hype it enough. The AD carry meta, at least in from what I've seen, has been the same thing, right? Lucian, Nami, Zeri, Lulu. That's been the name of the game, and then obviously you have things like the Varus, right? That are kind of
Mhm.
the champions that you pick them because they're versatile, right? They can fit two different champion archetypes, and they can fill that slot very easily. The Callista has been something that's kind of been slept on a little bit. And if I know anything from my boy Luciv in particular, if you play the champion correctly, you are going to see very good results. So I'm very excited to see how we're going to see it. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on the Rift. Game one of the Dog Pound versus the Pickled Packages right here coming at you live tonight.
I think we're gonna see a standard 5 point. Man, both of these teams have like an idea and an angle to totally engage. Braum could totally stack someone with his passive, and then lock him down. Callista early game with Rend is super nasty, but looks like everyone's just wanting to kind of handshake the 5-point, get a stock start. I want to see how the bot lane goes. There is a slight angle, like levels 1 through 2, where Callista Leona could kill Sivir Braum, depending on the positioning. Droid is smart, so Sarby Cabinet is a support master, it kind of seems like. I think they'll be fine, but I also could see Rudy and TJ just saying, hey man, we're going to get a quick level 2, let's just all in these guys.
Yeah, no Halo Blades on the
Yeah,
Callista. That is a note. There will
correct.
be no early burst coming out of the Callista. Going for the lethal tempo, probably the more optimal rune here, as they're going to be going for more of a meatball-y kind of comp, front to back sort of thing, with the Kindred and the Diana as well to boot. So, going to be a red side start here for Bunny Remix. Starting the W on the Kindred, going to be pathing top side most likely. Frige going to be pathing bot. Looking pretty good. I haven't played a whole lot this season, so a couple of the changes. There's not a whole lot I can speak about on that, but it'll be very interesting to see. Beautiful Sivir skin, by the way, starting the queue, getting some very good damage here onto TJ So Beast. As we get a little bit of a freeze here in just a moment here. Callista with the extendo arm.
Yeah, she's like really reaching out to get that last creep there. I like, nice, look at that.
Wow, the
I didn't realize how
spear's not
skinny
even.
she was. She needs to get some protein in her.
Wow.
There we
Okay,
go.
well, looks like we're back on it here. Getting a lot of good poke here on the TJ So Beast, going to be starting the Rend as well. Very curious to see what ability this guy's going to be maxing, because I do know that there has been a couple of instances where Callistas have been maxing Q. I'm not
Yeah.
sure how relevant that is anymore, but probably just going to be a Rend max.
Yeah, I'm not super versed on the Callista builds, but usually, from my understanding, the Q is for lethality and then support Callista. But I don't think he's gonna go either of those.
Ah, that's
I,
right. That's
it
right.
still could
Callista's been a support.
it still could go. I mean, they could still go Q max, I believe, even if you're going like the more traditional Callista build. But obviously, it's for the early lethality and the poke that you can get from it. One thing I wanted to talk about with the mid lane is I'll take mid is. Even though he's not the highest ranked mid laner in TCL, as we have a little bit of a pause here, I can go on a little bit of a ramble. He's not like the highest ranked mid laner, but he's probably the best and the most consistent performing like all the time. He plays really forward with a lot of forward pressing champions. Something with a dash is super vulnerable into Cassiopeia, because if Diana hits a Q and then tries to dash in onto him for the super aggressive trade, which he's gonna go for because he took Electrocute Ignite, he wants to play in your face. There's an angle for Cassio just to R or drop her W to root her and ground her, where Lee Sin can easily capitalize on. I'll take mid, plays super, like I said, super in your face. There needs to be some attention to that, and I think mid jungle needs to try to play around him to punish, because it seems like if you just let him chunk you out or let the lane go even, he's always going to find some really good play in the mid to late game to win something. He did it his last series when he played Syndra, which is now a scaling mage. So I don't want to see Frigé and Caridian let I'll take mid get away with murder here. Um, then you really don't have to put a ton of pressure into top. That's just kind of like a farm fest. It's a tank versus tank noodle fight. So I want to see some pressure on the mid. There's room for dives. You can push out the lane really fast with Cassio and get some roams and try to find the kindred. So I kind of want to see how they play this good setup they have with their mid jungle.
Yeah, I
Oh,
couldn't agree more with you. I'll take mid as a player that you definitely do not want to give an early lead to, because he will run away with it if he gets one,
yeah.
especially on his patented pick in the Diana. Now, we were talking about Bunny Remix's pathing a little bit. You said that he likes to avoid the early skirmishes and the early, sort of jungle fights there. Definitely will agree that that's the number one thing you want to do on the Kindred, especially into the Lee Sin, because you are just not winning that duel. That Kindred has to farm, and that Kindred has to be able to get power through the CSs. We're going to be looking here's a little bit of a fight in the mid lane. Caridian, low mana, getting some auto attacks in. Bunny Remix is going to be looking for a potential Q over the wall. Decides to back up. Frige is here to do whatever he needs to do to help support Caridian as well. Going to potentially be walking up, just sitting there in the fog of war. Decides really not to do anything. too much, go to his Gromp, maybe get some extra CS, but Caridian in a very
this is
advantageous
very-
spot.
This. Oh, good flash from Music. Had a ward in his tri-bush. He's able to kind of see the gank coming in. This is a really scary spot from Caridian. If I was him, I don't think I would have used my pots. I would have just backed, kept my pot, saved a little extra gold, and then TP'd back into lane. Because the lane would have been in a relatively even spot anyway, because it kind of had just reset. He's in a scary spot right now. He still totally could die. He has like no...
I'll take a look at this here real quick to hold that thought here. Swiss Army Cabinet going in, going to be getting the Rom passive onto Rudy. Now Frige being able to find the first kick, the second kick could potentially be looking good. Lethal Tempo procced on both the 80 carries here. The Rend will come out onto Frige, and nothing of it. No one dies. Beautiful, beautiful.
Not enough damage, but they're at least to chunk him. They could chunk him, get it back, get the reset in. Mid is like super low. Caridian had to flash. I was kind of watching that at the bottom here. He has no mana. He has no flash. He still could die here. It could be a 1-for-1, but
he's still stepping up here. Caridian, dude's got some balls on him. Gonna finally be backing here. Did have to use the flash in that exchange. I'll take mid in a very good spot here in the mid lane so far. Still has the ignite as well, as we see Jazz Music up in the top lane, taking it to Microscopic Rick. Does have the wave going to be pushing out to him, so Microscopic Rick does have a chance to freeze, but decides to queue the wave. Looks pretty good here on the top side as well. 32 CS to 29 in the jungle as well, pretty notable. You want the Kindred to be able to get that CS, get that scaling. I'm curious to see what the build is going to be. I'm not well versed on Kindred builds at all. I've seen a couple of different things, right? I've seen the Shield Bow, I've seen the Kraken Slayer most prominently in these games, the Kraken Slayer Collector, but I'm going to be completely honest with you. I think Collector is an awful item. I don't think there's any universe where you should go that at all, even in this meta. So we'll have to see what the build's going to be for Bunny Remix. But again, is the Kindred 2-trick? I guess we can call it from what we've talked about. So trust his gameplay, not mine.
I think Bunny has done a good job in every game I've seen on him, even off the Kindred. I think I just totally caster curse this guy, unfortunately for that.
Oh,
but
wow.
He'll get away. Has to burn the flash, man. Kind of want to touch on this mid lane real quick too, because this is so bad for Caridian, because his lane state is going to be at an awkward spot for a while. If he tries to trade, because with Cassio, most of her spells do damage over time. So if you try to trade into the Diana, you're naturally probably going to hit the minions with burn. So you're just going to push the lane. Caridian really needed to back early, because when you a little trade on the bot side.
Yeah, we got a little bit of a trade on the bot side here. Droid trying to get that final passive off, and once again we have something going on the top side as well. No kills coming out. Droid potentially looking for another trade there. Wave is under their tower. They can do absolutely nothing with this. But yeah, to touch up on what you're saying, right? Caridian's wave state has been a little interesting here. Like, take a look at that massive wave. It is pushing out into the waiting arms of I'll take mid. But despite that, he does have the CS lead. As now we have a little bit of a fight on the top side here. Microscopic Rick getting another beautiful Q on the Jazz Music. Very good job from Microscopic Rick to be able to weather the storm here of the lane bully that is Mordekaiser.
Yeah.
Very well done by him. Could potentially freeze this wave here. That's definitely what he should be looking to do, but Jazz knows exactly what he needs to do and start getting some more pressure and getting this wave under so he doesn't have a chance to. The freeze here, oh, beautiful Q there as well for Microscopic Rick. Potentially does have a kill angle. Actually does have enough mana to be able to use the ult, but decides not to use it. This is the classic top lane like tank. This is
just TCL meta to a T right here with the top laners. There's a gank bot lane here. Let's see what we can come to this.
Ooh, an uncharacteristic miss from Frige there, but potentially could be a first blood.
Nice shot from
TJ so beast. Frige picking up a kill onto him now as Bunny Remix is here to potentially find a cleanup. There is no ultimate for Frige. Bunny Remix will find another kill for Frige, making that a 2-for-1 here for the Dog Pound.
Yeah, good job from TJ there. Man, Swiss Army Cabinet needed to use that exhaust early on Kalista. The thing with Kalista is when she's fighting you, her auto attacks aren't doing like a ton of damage in comparison to the Sivir. But there's always that gap in the fight where she's going to use the Rend and you're going to lose. Like all of a sudden, like your HP bars are going to catch up like when you're trading, if that makes sense. He needed to use that on Kalista there because TJ just bought so much time, turns it into a 2v1 once Bunny Remix comes down to help. Little contest over this dragon here.
Interesting for Droid to just walk up like that. I have no clue what he's looking to do here. So the ultimate from TJ So Beast is coming out. Frige does pick up a kill. It's a double kill for I'll Take Mid, and they're going to be able to take this back here. It's a double kill for Frige as well, but it will not matter, as it is a triple kill now for I'll Take Mid, and Swiss has to run with his tail in between his legs.
Yeah, you hate to see it. It's just rough. This is where it's going to get scary. It came down to Pickled Package's team comp looks so much better, but when you put the nameplates back on these players that are on like ultra comfort, they didn't even really flinch in that fight there. They just had total confidence. Droid kind of stepped up a little too far, like you said. I'm not sure that was the angle. I don't know if the Dragon was that worth like contesting as much as it was like contesting for the kills, if that makes sense. And it looked like they were really trying to get in there to like contest and make sure that. I feel like you could just contest for the kills a little bit slower, and you could have maybe forced them off the whole situation, but it's just disastrous. The Lee Sin has 3 kills, but Lee Sin is just going to be a playmaking bot with his kick later in the game. He's going to get outscaled, so 3 kills on him. Let's see if he can make anything happen to kind of jumpstart their team into it, because a 3-0 Diana with I'll Take Mid, this is going to get really scary as time goes on. Nice little roam from Rudy here. He might get a flash at a Cridian.
Yeah, I like this roam angle here from Rudy. Gonna potentially look for it, and just, decides to say hi. Do a little walk, a nice little walk in the park there for Rudy, as now he's gonna be looking to get some forward vision here on the red side quadrant here in the jungle.
Man, if I was Rudy, I would have just chucked that right at Rudy, because if I saw Leona ult come at me and I'm going against I'll Take Mid with 3-0, my butt would have been flashing like instantly. I don't even care if they commit or not.
Oh, take a look at that. Frige once again with a beautiful kick. The shutdown going to Caridian. That is absolutely massive for the side of the Pickled Packages.
Yeah, Caridian needed that so bad. Good job. It's good that he was able to get that kill as well. They knew I'll Take Mid didn't have flash just based off that last dragon, and it's kind of ironic that last dragon was so disastrous for them, and now they have Prio on this. Caridian has flash, he's got R.
Oh, Bunny Remix, I got no clue why you're walking up like that, my friend. You see almost all of them going to be able to get taken out here. Caridian with another kill onto Bunny Remix, and now the gold lead's starting to even up here just a little bit for the side of the Pickled Packages. We take a look once again. I want to bring your attention to the CS at the moment and the gold values here. A little bit of a CS lead on the top for Jazz. Going to be picking up the Rylai's Crystal Scepter first item. Probably going to be transitioning that into a Jack Shows, if I had to imagine. As it's looking very good so far. But despite the objective, despite all that, they are down about 200 gold, but it's pretty even as now Rudy looking for another opportunity. Onto the bot lane, does not get it, barely.
I'm really happy to see Creddy, Frige, Music, Droid, and Swiss Army Cabinet playing with a little bit more confidence, because that Diana play at that dragon, like, when you see those kills go into such a good player, it can be super tilting. Their last series did not go the way they probably expected. Hang on, we got a little bit of a fight here around this dragon.
Take a look at this. Oh, an uncharacteristic miss from Swiss Army Cabinet as well. Droid now stepping up in a very interesting spot here on the left side, or the right side, excuse me. I have no clue what I'm doing. A shutdown here for Rudy there, and a flash match. Okay, what is going on up here? Music with a solo kill onto the last champion of TCL. Microscopic Rick with the passive trying to clear the wave. Wow, very well done for Music, as now Bunny's looking potentially for a dive, decides not to go for it, just clear out some wards.
It's a weird first buy going the Rylai's, but apparently I'm totally wrong and I don't know Mord builds very well, because he gets a solo kill on Rick. Luckily for Rick, he's got his hard seal completed. He can start whacking with the stacks charged up in the melee versus melee matchup. And Sion is like one of the best top laners to play, because you can die and you can get waves in awkward states, and it just doesn't matter. His scaling is just so impactful. So good job for Music for capitalizing it. Rick just needs to play a little bit more aware next time, but at the end of the day, it's not going to be too devastating for him.
Yeah, I'm not sure how common the Rylai's Crystal Scepter first item build is.
Yeah,
for the Mordekaiser, I don't think I've seen it in any of the recent games, but Music in a very interesting spot here. Gonna pull him in at that low of HP. You're a madman, Music. You could potentially die here, my friend, but potentially it won't matter. A massive shield from Music coming out here, and they will find the kill onto Microscopic Rick again.
All right. Well, I guess I guess the idea is let's just slow him so much with Rylai's that he can't auto-attack me because Music just totally was not afraid of that situation there. Wave's kind of in an awkward spot. He doesn't have TP, so he's going to walk back in. So at least Tiny Rick can come in and catch most of those since he has his TP up. But yeah, good job, Music. He's getting a big lead now with that regank there from Fruge, knowing that Sion did not have R or Flash. Let's see how Critian keeps playing this. He's in a lot better situation now. He still has the farm lead. He has his flash and his R still. He got a kill, or well, he has 2 kills, but that 1 kill that they got on Outtake mid, capitalizing on him being flashless, is super good. Cassio will do a lot better into Diana when the game gets later because Cassio's early mana cost is just kind of high. So sometimes you have to trade in awkward patterns compared to the Diana, so sometimes it's just hard to do. But he's in a lot better situation now. I thought this game was going to be an absolute train wreck for them after the first like 7 or 8 minutes, but they've managed to bring it back and put themselves in a good situation here. Let's see if he can sit out this gank though, because there's a lot of missing people on the map for him.
Take a look at this. I'll take mid, going for the ultimate. A beautiful ultimate from Caridian to be able to get out of that sticky situation.
Yep.
Well done there from him to be able to neutralize that situation. Is now.
Oh, Droid's dead.
Droid is just
my
dead.
boy.
Definitely don't want to step up to a Callista, especially at that level. I wanted to bring your attention here, Sandy, to what I like to call the Giga Chad build on the Callista. No shield bow here, my friend. It is all Bork. If this dude goes Renan's Hurricane second, I'm just gonna have the biggest nostalgic moment of my life.
I mean, he might.
Bringing that build back.
TJ would be the person who would do it. Oh man.
Oh, we got an engage here as well. Caridian just stepping up to Rudy.
Yeah.
Huh. A little bit of an ego step up, I would say. I'm not too sure what that was, my friend.
A little disrespectful just because he saw the Leona, like, and he knew he didn't have any more of his disengage options available. Just a little overconfident stepping up there. Just got to play a little bit smarter because you're still in a really good position, and Critian could totally still pop off and carry this game with this Cassio. But man, with that mid tower opening up though, it's a lot scarier. Even though Pickled Package got the first tower bonus on the top side, having mid tower open is way scarier than getting your enemy top tier 1 tower out or tier 2 tower out. So a little scary here. I think they're gonna get kind of out pressured now because now Kendrick can just walk in a lot more free. I'll take mid as 4 and 1 of the proto belt. He can seriously start stepping up into their jungle and making some scary plays happen.
Yeah, for sure. And if we take a look here once again at the gold lead here, it's only 1K despite everything. Pickle Packages, they've made some interesting maneuvers, let's say, around the map, just kind of walking up in spots you really don't want them to be. Like, just like that, like Caridian getting blown up 100-0 right there. The ultimate use from Rudy to be able to lock him down. Bunny Remix picking it up, and here it is. Microscopic. Rick's not going to have the attack in this fight. Take a look here now as the ultimate from Braum coming out. Very well done, trying to. Okay, I guess I'll take mid, just going straight in there. I have no clue what's happening here. It's been too long since I played this game. Droid is now in a really bad spot. Here comes the Callista auto. Just going to jump away there, and once again, the dog pound. The dogs are let loose, my friend. They are out of the pound.
Caridian, my friend. But it's funny because after Caridian died, as you saw that fight happen, they didn't have the damage to trade back. It was doomed. They should have just pieced out totally after that. But if Caridian actually was there on the backside, that whole series of events would have been so much harder for the dog pound to capitalize on. With Cassio R and Cassio W on the ground, I don't think they're able to run at them the way they did from once he was down. Caridian just needs to, refocus a little bit. He needs to understand how his team comp wins. With that first item, Rylai's, Moore's going to buy a lot more peeling and a lot more zoning potential because he's going to slow all these short-range characters in front of him. Caridian can space so well with his W and his R. Droid could free hit. Just a bad positioning from Caridian that was well capitalized on by the dog pound. But I don't know. To me, I totally saw the angle that it could have worked really well for Pickled Package if Caridian was in a little bit different of a situation than when he was in. I don't know if he just didn't have vision. That was just a really greedy walk-up because his team was kind of on the other side of that river, basically. He just kind of face-checked through mid into a lot of damage and a lot of CC.
Yeah, we kind of have to bring it back to those positional mistakes here. that we've seen a lot throughout this series. Like Caridian just getting blown up 100-0 in that fight. If Caridian's alive there, that's a huge game changer, right? Because you have the Petrifying Gaze to be able to help stop that initiation. And well played on I'll Take Mid to not immediately blow his ultimate there. He actually saved it there at the end of that fight to be able to pick off the last couple of stragglers. That is very disciplined play from I'll Take Mid. Is now he'll potentially look for something on to Rudy. I do know he's there. I do believe they did spot him on that ward, so Rudy just going to back up, knows his limits, going to just walk away from it. And you can also see as well, I want to direct your attention to the Even Shroud bought by Rudy. That's an item I haven't really seen a whole lot of, actually. And I really like this buy here because it just amplifies the damage of the carries that want to get onto those backline champions there, like the Callista and the Diana and even the Kindred, right? So very good builds, very good play all around from the side of the Pickled packages. Now up almost 3K gold into this game. They are in the driver's seat.
Yeah. The gold kind of like ballooned there too. That play just kind of blew everything up, and the early stats on the carries with the Callista and the Diana are really going to take advantage of that gold lead. Like when you get engaged on or attacked by them, it's going to feel like more than like a 3K gold lead, if you know what I mean. The Diana's going to do some serious damage to your backline. I mean, Pickled Package just needs to slow this game down. The Casio and Sivir angle is still there. Oh, music, my friend.
Yeah, you can't really slow the game down. You got Diana in your face, potentially looking for another kill here. Jazz music flashing out
leave,
under the tower, and just in the ultimate, just kind of standing there. A beautiful kick from Frige, but decides to go in off of that. Jazz music ends up falling in the end, and now Frige just kind of looking a little funky there off that play. Caridian does pick up one, potentially looking for two. TJ So Beast now looking to potentially get it, does find it, as now Microscopic Grip is fighting them 2v1 under the tower.
I think he could 2v1 him, actually.
He's flashing onto them now, does find the Q, will not get the knockup. Well played once again for the Dog Pound, and I just want to bring your attention once again to how crucial that was for Microscopic Rick to step up. The flash was a little advantageous from him, but being able to clear that wave and make it so that they couldn't get that tier 1 tower when everything was happening on that top side, that is super pivotal and very heads up from Microscopic Rick.
Yep, saves the mid tower, scares the living daylights out of Pickled Package's bot lane, because you feel like in 2v1 situations most of the time you feel okay, but like they just were never going to do damage, and Sion did not care. Caridian did a good job TPing top to at least get a kill back. He just kind of overstepped trying to get a Q and a couple E's onto Callista. Oh, hang on, this could be a good re-engage here.
Does find a Q, Frige going in once again, another beautiful kick.
Nope,
it's a
no
shutdown
flash on TJ.
For Droid. That is really pivotal. Will they
so
give
good.
the second kill to Droid? Hopefully they will. If I'm Droid, I'm saying
so
give it, give it, and he does find it. Wow, there we go. 2 shutdowns, 2 crucial shutdowns for Droid 08 there on the Sivir. We'll be able to get him that Navori Quick Blades a lot sooner than expected.
Oh my god.
And they're going to go for the Baron. They're going to look for it.
I mean, all the damage is gone from the Dog Pound. So they totally can do this, but I don't know if they have enough damage to get through both the tanks of Dog Pound and the Baron. I mean, they're just. Let's just see how this goes. This looks very interesting here.
Well, Swiss Army Cabinet falls where he stands right there. Bunny Remix now going to be looking to just Q in.
Oh, nice.
It's a shutdown for Caridian as well, and Droid gets another kill. It's looking super bad here for the side of the Dog Pound, as now Microscopic Rick will see that Baron fall. And it's looking pretty good for the Pickled Packages so far. Another kill going over to Caridian, another kill going over to Droid. The 2 scaling carries on this team. It's looking fantastic for them so far. The gold lead went from 3K to only 1K in that fight. So now, like you said, Sandy, they just have to slow down. They have to catch waves. They have to scale up. And as soon as they're able to do that, they have a shot at winning this game.
Yeah, good job on finding that that greedy recall from the Dog Pound there. I actually thought Dog Pound could hold them off that Baron a little bit better, but apparently I was wrong. I mean, I know it was a 3v5 with no damage dealers, but I thought they'd be able to tank it a little bit better. I'll take Mid's looking for an angle on this dragon. They're super separated here. This is actually so bad.
Look here, trying to find a pick on Caridian. Could potentially find it here. Does have the Petrifying Gaze, I do believe, but doesn't use it, so it must mean it doesn't have it. What a great pick for I'll Take Mid from the Dog Pound, and also securing the Chemtech Dragon. That is very good for them. bring it up to a 2K gold lead at the moment, potentially almost a 3K if they can play this correctly.
Yeah, this Baron power play is going to be quite underwhelming based on that. They were so split. The Pickled package, I think, gets confused on what their comp needs to do because they're getting picked off a lot. But after you get Baron, everyone needs to quickly reset. You don't really have to worry about the wave state because the waves are in an okay position, and even if they're a little concerning, you have Baron to back after you get the dragon, or you can easily walk into a side lane real quick and get it pushed. They needed to back and like really walk really quick all the way down through their bot side jungle to that dragon, but instead you had someone come from like blue buff area, someone came from pixel bush, and then a couple people were coming from mid, and then that just gave Diana a quick angle just to jump on them and get a couple kills and then take the dragon back. So this Baron power play most likely is going to be quite underwhelming here.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, but you do have a Sivir on your team, so you're able to just delete the waves right there and then with the Navori Quick's Blades. Extra damage there as well, being able to delete the waves from a 1QW. It's still winnable. It's still winnable for the Pickled packages.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just gotta slow down, scale, catch waves.
I hate saying this because I'm so like, I hate the TCL meta so much of the time where it turns into like a front-to-back tank scaling mage, 80 carry, front-to-back team fight ARAM style. I just hate it. I always lose when I don't play those comps anyway, so I'm eating my words here. But like, I actually want Pickled Package to do it because the team fight is just so much easier to execute for them if they do it. But they're separating themselves so much. They're doing it here now, but I actually just want them to stay together because they can do it. They can totally win this game still. Make this game way more simple than it needs to be. Don't start divvying up side lane allocations to people and trying to get fancy flanks and wards. Just dumb this down a little bit. I think they could still win with the Sivir Cassio.
Yeah, and once again, right, if I'm on that team, if I'm on the Pickled packages, I'm saying, all right, guys, we know what our targets is, and Swiss Army Academy getting a really good ult there. The Kalista ultimate going to be be able to find out some time here for Rudy, but does find a kill onto Freeshay. Rudy actually walks out of it alive as now the petrifying gaze. Very pivotal for Caridian, a beautiful
Pickled package wins this.
Who's going to be able to win this fight? Droid! Oh wait, it's on a rampage, but does get taken down from Bunny Remix as well. A very messy fight in the mid lane. As I'll Take Mid is just splitting and ending the game top lane.
Well,
and the game's a recall! You love to see it from Microscopic Rizzy.
He TP'd right in vision. No.
Wow, the Giga Chad and TJ Soapy's fall.
Mid's just ending the game.
Take Mid is just winning the game. What is going on here?
Oh no. Well, it's funny because I said let's just ARAM it, simplify the game, and then I'll Take Mid's like, well, if you're gonna ARAM it, then I'm just gonna go for the side lane here and end the game because my team can still fight you in an uneven scenario, and then I'll just end the game because I'm super strong. So the game kind of just fell apart a little bit there for Pickled Package because now this is gonna have a perma pushing topside. Music lost his TP because he tried TPing in front of Sion, so he can't like join a fight as he's trying to like keep the top wave pushed, so they're gonna have to send Cassio, but Cassio does not like to TP into fights most of the time. Like, she needs to be there and already set up, if that makes sense. So kind of an awkward situation. Let's see how Dogpound can capitalize off it. But God, I'll Take Mid he's such a frustrating mid laner to go against because he's so good. He sees so many playmaking angles. He just does not care to take a fight. He wins out on him. He always stays even in CS and levels. So he's kind of taking it to him there as a nice little heads-up play for him just to commit to the top lane push and just give up his mid lane, and then his team's still able to go even there too.
Yeah, very heads-up play there from I'll Take Mid to be able to just say, you know what, guys, I got you. I'll just take the top inhibitor. But if I'm the Pickled Packages, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't hate that. I don't hate that I have a constantly pressuring topside because I'm playing something like Sivir or Cassiopeia, right? If I'm Caridian, I'm saying, all right, guys, put me top. I have TP.
Whoa.
I'm just going to farm the waves, but here we go. We have
Freeshay,
another potential huge fight. Freeshay is getting absolutely blasted here, as now we have a double kill for TJ Soapy. I'll Take Mid going in with the ultimate. Beautifully done by him, and it's just a wipe for the Dog Pound. A triple kill here for TJ Soapy, potentially looking for the quadra kill. Will he find it? He will not. It's an ace for the Dog Pound, and I'll tell you what, man, that's probably all she wrote for this one.
Yeah, Music tries ulting the Leona, because I think they're going to try to isolate him, but they have so much ward coverage down near that dragon, they had to have known that the rest of the team is somewhere in the area. Like, they can't walk by all of those wards, realistically, without you seeing them come in. So then they tried making an awkward engage after the Leona's isolated by the Mortal. Frugier was not able to find the kick flash, unfortunately. And then Diana just hits a huge ult, kills them all. It's going to be a quick wrap on game one here. Ay, ay, ay.
Wow, well played there for the Dog Pound to be able to find that win here in game number one. Uh, a couple of mistakes from both sides, right? I mean, obviously it could just be second game nerves. You know, you're getting into the feel of the season here. You're still figuring things out with your team. But if I'm gonna be completely honest with you, I think the only reason why, right, that it fell apart for the Pickled packages the way they did was just positioning, right? A lot
Yeah.
of greedy positioning plays there from Caridian, and then also that play at Dragon where Droid just kind of did the good old tail whip, turn the monitor off, and just like, you know what, I'm playing Cipher, I'm gonna do damage anyways. Sort of play there. Shout out to my boy. But you know, it just kind of just I don't know, the little sussy. A little sussy positioning there as TJ So Beast topping the damage charts here. 23,000 gold.
Yeah.
Gold damage, excuse me. I expect nothing less from that man on that champion. Ladies and gentlemen, that was game one. When we come back, more TCL Season 5 action coming your way. Do not go anywhere. Or Season 6, actually, I should say. Don't go
Close
anywhere.
enough.
We'll be right back.
As a child, you would wait and watch from far away, but you always knew that you'd be the one that would while they all play. And you'd lay awake at night and scheme of all the things that you would change, but it was just a dream. from dust. Visions in my head of this, you don't know the half of it. I got dreams of looking up, highs I can get, but nothing feels like how it feels to know these things I don't know yet. The weight of everything, and everything's just thread. Sometimes I'm trapped inside and I don't know what I'm gonna do. But to take on the world is the only thing that we know how to do. I've got dreams of finding out what all of this is for. It's you and me, and everywhere we go will lead us to an open door. We made our mistakes.
Didn't start it. Well, guys, welcome back to TCL Season 6, Game 2 here between the Pickled Packages versus the Dog Pound. Sandy, I had a whole bit for you while you were gone getting water. I was going to say that you died and that
Oh no.
the cringe from TCL killed you. But you're back. You're alive. You are reincarnated and you are here to give us some juicy League of Legends content. The Dog Pound taking Game 1. Not so single-handedly, I should say. There were a couple of really good moments of brilliance from the side of the Pickled Packages, but I really think there was just so many different positioning errors from both carries of Caridian and Droid. Let's just kind of dissect that Game 1 and see what you think here, Sandy.
Yeah, I hate to say it because I like all the players on that team, but they just got picked off and their positioning was really awkward at times. I think that came down to them maybe not being super comfortable with each other yet. Maybe they haven't got a ton of practice on a comp like this, but unfortunately they just didn't understand their comp because they spread out way too much into a team that could collapse and kill you so much faster with the Dog Pound. So I'm hoping that they kind of recognize that they just had a couple goofy mistakes and that they can draft pretty simple comps and just play this front to back. You have good wave management and just position yourself better on the map so you're in a more advantageous situation. They didn't really play to their comp strength. I think they try to run it back with something similar because it's still easy to execute. It's not hard to do, so I hope they just run it back and try doing something like that again. Hopefully that game didn't tilt them because, like you said, they had good plays. Both teams had mistakes, but Pickled Package definitely had good plays. There was totally an angle to win that, so hopefully they didn't get tilted to the point where they like drastically change up their draft because they don't think they can do it. I wouldn't be too discouraged if I were them because I think they should see the angle that they could have taken that game.
Yeah, for sure. Mental is a big part of TCL, for sure. I can absolutely attest to that. You know what, Sandy? Maybe I thought we were in season 5 because I'm trying to relive the glory days of seasons 2, 3, and 4. There have been a lot of instances. I know, especially when we were on a team together, that mental played a huge part into how we were playing. I remember, I believe it was season 4. We just absolutely like got dumpstered the first half of the entire season,
Mhm.
and then we made it to playoffs and we managed to get to finals and almost win the whole thing. So, and a big part of that was mental, right? Being able to bring yourself back and be like, okay, guys, I screwed up. I know where I screwed up. Here's where I screwed up, and here's what we're gonna do better next time. But in terms of the draft, there hasn't really been a whole lot of things that have changed here. Same bans across the board. You got the Varus and the Rakan targeting the bot side. Okay, there we go. The Kindred ban, dropping it instead of the Lilia ban. I'm going to be completely honest with you, Sandy. I don't like this adaptation.
Don't like it. Yeah, and the problem is he's probably just going to pick up this Lilia before the second round of bans because I don't think Fruge is going to take it on any of these three. So now you're just giving him another champion that he's super comfortable on. I don't think Bunny Remix had a bad game, but I don't think the Kindred was the reason why they won or lost it. I'm not sure if that needed to be the ban
No,
based on how they played. I think they did fine around the Kindred.
Yeah,
Going
I
something
really don't.
simple, get some Nautilus action in here.
I really don't think that was the play, and I'll tell you why. Because Lilia has a lot more damage, a lot more team fight potential, a lot more safety, in my opinion, because of how fast she's running across the rift at like Mach 15. And they also banned the only counter to Lilia, a shotgun. So there's not really a whole lot that you can do uh, into the Lilia here. But let's see if they pick it up. They are going to pick up, however, the Leona once again potentially could look for the Callista angle. I do think picking up the Callista here this early in the draft is a little greedy, in my opinion. You're probably
Especially in the
better off.
Nautilus.
Yeah, for sure. You're probably better off doing something a little bit more safe. I know TJ can play almost every single AD carry, if not every single AD carry in the game, so he definitely has something cooking up his sleeve here. But it is gonna be the Kayn coming out for Bunny. What?
Okay, well, just he probably heard me talking, saying that he really just mainly plays Lilia and Kindred, so now he's just probably trying to show us that he can do. Oh wow, with an answer to Evelyn. I'm not a jungle expert. I have no idea who's supposed to be favored in this matchup.
Huh?
Depending on what depending on where what the Kayn builds, this actually seems like a good matchup for Evelyn. Actually, this draft kind of did not go the way I expected. I'm curious what they prioritize now because the champs they've prioritized and the order they've chosen is kind of random so far. Kaisa.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think there's an imposter in this lobby here. I'm gonna be completely honest with you, Sandy. Already looking at the Kayn versus Evelyn matchup, Kayn just and the Diana's open. We didn't even talk about the Diana here.
Yeah, they never throw a single ban at I'll take mid on either games in first round. They don't think he's the issue.
Okay, well that's a little sussy. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I feel like Kayn just runs circles around Evelyn in the early game.
Sure.
And can absolutely decimate Evelyn in the early game. So maybe this is just like experimental, like, hey, like we've been trying this in scrims, we're already down one, maybe this is the angle. Maybe we'll just do a surprise like Evelyn in first rotation. But the Callista is going to be taken away. That is pretty notable. And I just want to give a reminder to all of our players in the stream, because you did mention Bunny potentially could be listening. Don't watch the stream. I know you're not, but just a reminder.
I agree that the Kayn would definitely own Evelyn early, but I think that Evelyn could totally avoid the Kayn. I think she could avoid situations where she needs to fight Kayn, and then eventually I just think Evelyn could make a little bit more plays happen depending on what form he goes and what he builds. I think this Callista ban is a waste. Two reasons. TJ doesn't strike me as a guy who likes to pick the same champion back to back, especially in like not a super pressured. Also, don't see Callista into Nautilus being super favorable, so I don't feel like that was the ban they should have gone. But
yeah,
to each their own.
That's really telling. I feel like that's really telling on the side of the Pickled packages what they're kind of cooking up here, because yeah, you're absolutely correct, right? Like that Callista in this draft is not going to do a whole lot, especially into the Nautilus. But they do end up picking the Jinx. I really like the Jinx here. Jinx, one of those really big power picks in the meta currently, and it's the Kiana, the Kiki coming out here for Caridian. That's something that can get in the back line.
It is, and this is like a high tempo, high pressure mid lane because both of them have kill pressure on each other, and then they both have kind of like weird jungle setup ganks because neither of the two can really like capitalize like super early in the game on pressure. So this could just be a slugfest mid lane for a while.
And then you have the big meatball and Scion coming out there for jazz music, gonna be able to pick that one up. I'm curious to see what Tiny Rick's gonna pick. I would love to see a Yorick. It's not Aurelia. It's not Aurelia. Tiny Rick doesn't strike me as the one to be able to say, yeah, I want to pick Aurelia here. Maybe he's cooking it up. I would expect more of a Yorick from him, to be honest. There was a really funny story that we had in solo queue one time. Oh, it's actually going to be the Shen. I actually really like the Shen here. Take a look at that, right? You're able to use your ultimate into the Diana or the Leona to be able to get yourself in there with a massive shield on both of those on both those engaged champions, excuse me. And then you're also able to peel for the Jinx with that ultimate as well. So overall, I really like the dog pounce comp more here. It seems like that, if you're on red side, you're just kind of chilling with the comps, in my opinion. But let's not discredit the fact that Caridian and Frige can absolutely just mess up your backline if they are allowed to get ahead, and also if they are allowed to be able to get into that backline in the first place, right? So you're going to have to buy a lot of pink wards. You're going to have to do a lot of jungle tracking in this game to make sure that Frige and Caridian are just in the spots you need them and expect them to be, instead of, oh, hey, they're on our Jinx, and now we have little to no damage. So uh, this is a question I have for you, Sandy. I'm not well versed on the mid lane matchups for Kiana or Diana. Um, I would imagine it's more Diana favored. I just kind of
Yeah.
want to get your opinion on that.
Yeah, Diana would win it early, and it's easier for Diana to itemize if she feels too threatened by Kiana, because Diana naturally would love to build Zanya. So taking like an early Seeker's Arm Guard and not completing it is always an option for Diana, and then it gets a lot harder for Kiana to put pressure on her. But I don't actually see I'll take mid doing that anyway. But whoever gets chunked out first or gets a quick kill could really snowball it into the other one. But yeah, I would totally say it's Diana favorite. I don't really play either of these champions that much anymore. I would prefer the Diana, especially because it's an I'll take mid champ. I think you could probably take it to Caridian. The one thing that I would give the Pickled package for their comp, I don't like the comp as a whole. It doesn't make sense because you have flanking with Evelynn, you have flanking with Kiana, and then I guess they maybe want to front to back with Nautilus and Scion. It doesn't really make sense, but I think it could make sense for them because they've tended to play a little bit more separated than each other, like from each other. So maybe it's better to not have a strict front to back comp, let people roam and make plays on their own a little bit more, and play the fights a little bit more spaced out. It could do well for him.
Yeah, Frige, in my time of playing with him, he's an absolute monster when he's able to take over the map, right? This is the kind of philosophy that he's probably thinking about in this draft, right? How can I scare people? How can I put them in positions where they feel uncomfortable? And the Evelynn is a pick that can do that if the Evelynn's ahead. If Frige doesn't get ahead early, and it doesn't really look that likely into this comp, I'm going to be completely honest with you, then it's just kind of just going to be like a deflated balloon, right? There's not really much there, and like the Evelynn can't really do much. I guess the constant threat of invisibility, right, is something that you can always think about for Evelynn, right? Once she hits that level 6, able to roam freely, excuse me, except when control wards are involved, which if if I'm the dog pound, everyone's buying control wards. Everyone's pulling the barrel, and they're just buying like a million control wards this game instead of actual items. So we're going to have to see how this goes. Once again, big dive comp from the side of the Pickled packages, and then you have a pretty standard just brawly meatball comp with the protect the president aspect in the Jinx with the lethal tempo and rocket range. So it's looking pretty good. Really like the comp here from the dog pound.
Yeah, the only thing I'm afraid of with the Evelynn is I think Fruge is good enough to take over a game. I think he could find good angles to set himself up and his team up for success. The problem is you don't really have prio in any of your lanes, and sometimes in TCL it doesn't matter because positioning gets a little awkward at times from some teams, but if you don't have prio in any of your lanes, you open up your team to being roamed on, to set up counter vision against. A lot of ganks can be set up from other people besides the jungler. The only lane that realistically could have prio would be mid, but then you're banking on Caridian winning the mid lane matchup against I'll take mid, which Caridian
Yeah.
always a good mid laner, but it's after that last performance that I'll take mid had, it's a little scary, and there is an angle where Evelyn completely can get pushed out of her jungle. She could get counter invaded, or by the time she comes online, the map could be in an awkward state that's not easily capitalizable, even though I don't think that's a word. But anyway,
Well, I'll tell you what, man. It's I'll take mid, and it's also I'll take mid on his favorite champion. So to be honest with you, if I'm Caridian and I'm really confident, then like maybe I can catch I'll take mid on a bad day, and here's the mental factor, right? If Caridian takes this game off of I'll take mid on his Diana in a Diana and a presumably a Diana favored matchup, I could be wrong on that. I'm happy to be wrong on that. Then that just kind of shakes up the mental, right? That we've been
oh
talking
yeah,
about a
for sure.
lot, especially in TCL. It's just a giant mental game for all of these players involved, right? Who's better, who's worse, who can make the plays, who can stand up, who will crumble, when it matters most. It's more often in TCL history been me that crumbles under the pressure. But that's just one of those things, right, that you just kind of take a look at. And if Caridian's able to take this game off of I'll take mid, then the draft starts to look a little different. Or I'll take mid's like, oh, they gave me Diana again.
Hmm.
And it's just like, okay, yeah, like I'll just play Diana again. But just wanted to let you guys know in the stream, we are experiencing a little bit of a delay here. The league client, the wonderful spectator client that Riot made perfectly for all of us is unfortunately crashing at the moment. So you get to see our beautiful faces here. But I also just want to do a little plug here. Once again, TCL is powered and brought to you by League Spot, your league, your brand, your way, all the time, every day.
Nice.
So there it is. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, game 2 of TCL Season 6 between the Pickled Packages and the Dog Pound. Let's take a look and see how this game is going to go.
If they completely wrap around through this top side down into this bush, they have a super easy flash angle onto music. Let's see how hard they commit to it.
Oh, this is looking a little scary here for music, my friend. Get out of there!
I think you should
Music,
see it.
run! Could
You could
potentially be a flash angle from Rudy to try to get that out, but you could see the rotations are already coming through. They know that Frige is very susceptible to an invade here on the Evelyn.
Yeah.
Well played to be able to get that vision down as well. I'm not sure who placed that ward. It was Jazz Music. Well done by him. They did not clear that vision, but Frige taking a look, maybe trying to stop some recalls. Does stop 3 of them. Wow, well played from Frige to be able to waste some time there, but I'm not sure if it's going to be all that impactful since,
No.
you can just run back. The bot lane should be there in time. TJ still beast just walking up to Caridian there. Wow, the ball's on this dude. Pulls out the rockets, just decides, I'm a scary Jinx. I'm just going to walk at your face and just walk down.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Going back to what you said about this early game, I'm really happy that like a really crazy play didn't happen against Pickled Package there, because like you're going back to saying about the mental. I think this team really needs a mental buff because they are all really good players. On paper, they have a really cracked team. They just haven't had things going their way. The cohesiveness has just been a little off, and I really would have hated to see them go down a kill off an invade early, because I think that's just enough after that first game just to really kind of like put you in the dumps. So glad that they were able to stop the backs there, not die to anything, get a nice even setup for themselves, set themselves up for a good early lane here, or early game here, because they really do need it. Like I said, I don't think any of their lanes have prio or push against these.
Yeah, early
Like,
level
a big
2 for the
chunk
side
here.
of the Dog Pound, getting a lot of
Oof.
damage on the Swiss Army cabinet. Gonna have to back here. Definitely don't want to stay there, but now we have a little bit of a fight in the top side as Bunny Remix on the Kane just kind of walked through his walls, shows up, says
They want
hello.
to turn this.
Yeah, potentially could look for it. Frige, level 3 as well, does get the Lust Dust onto Bunny Remix, misses the Q. The Hateful Spites actually gets the Charm off. Does a little bit more damage in the Electrocute proc as way, and then they just kind of walk away from each other. But this is exactly what we were talking about, right? Bunny Remix being able to throw his weight around the map, right, on the cane, being able to use the Shadow Step, to be able to walk through walls. And I just want to let you guys know, production just whispered in my ear that Rick doesn't have any items.
This he's too good. He just doesn't care. He's saying, I'm a champion, I don't need items to beat you. Oh, music's
Okay,
dead.
well, apparently, yeah, he does it as he's going to go for the taunt here on the Jazz Music. Will they pick it up?
Oh,
It's
man.
going to be a first blood for Droid in the bot lane, actually, but Bunny Remix does find the kill on the Jazz, and TJ So Beast will find another kill in the Swiss Army cabinet as well. A little bit of hectic stuff happening on both sides of the map, but Microscopic Rick, man, he's pulling a Wally Warp, but he makes it happen there. First blood going the way of Droid away, however, instead of Bunny Remix, very crucially.
Yeah, good job for Droid for being able to trade back 1-for-1 in that scenario. It's good that it's only a 1-for-1 because that Nautilus is so chunked. Oh, little engage on the
Hold
mid
on a
lane
second,
here.
Credence
He's
trying
got
to engage on
no
the
mana,
mid.
though.
Frige once again throwing the miss out. Nice charm there from Frige. The Lust Dot's coming in, but Caridian stepping a little too far forward there. I'll take mid. Gonna have to flash out. Crucially, however, Caridian does not use his flash in that exchange.
This is so good for him too because he has teleport. The big thing with teleport is like you have the disadvantage because you don't have a combat summoner, so it's really good.
Rudy has to. Sorry to cut you off there.
No,
Rudy
you're
has
good.
to blow a flash there because of that. What is going on? The positioning is now Frige is just spreading
bad
into
for
Bunny
Frige.
Remix though. Is a level up, however. The Hateful Spikes come through and they both just walk away once again.
Okay, really good start. Even though the kills are a little lopsided, it's still way better. Critting has teleport. He can get back to the lane at any time that he wants. Diana has no summoners. Critting was able to keep his flash, so all of a sudden this matchup is super good for him. Fruge's up in CS against Kane. He's happy with just keep farming here. Man, this top lane thing is actually such a disaster. The fact that he died and had such a bad laning phase against a Shen that had no item, it's gonna look bad for Sion. He is probably gonna be on the back foot after a while once Rick starts catching some of these minions. But super happy that this mid jungle situation is going well for the Pickled package. Hopefully they can keep it up here. Caridian is in a really good spot here. He really could take it to I'll take mid based on how that little skirmish went. Let's see how it goes. Balls of Steel too for not flashing. He was like one auto away. He really was staying close to him too, so good job.
What if, theoretically, hang on just 1 second here before I start doing some theory crafting as a fight breaks down the middle, both walking away. What if Microscopic Rick knew that he didn't need any items to make that play happen?
Yeah, I
What
like
if
that,
he was
I like
just
that
like,
storyline.
you know what? I don't need items to fight the Scion. You know what? I'm just gonna save my 500 gold at the start. As now we have another fight in the top side though. Microscopic Rick is a level down. The EXP is getting pretty dicey for him. Not even close to level 6 yet. Gonna try to be able to get to that point very soon to start making some cross map plays. But wow, really impressive stuff here from the side of the Dog Pound to be able to capitalize on that. But just like we said there, right? Droid, got to give massive props to him to be able to find that first blood and become the equalizer in this game. Is actually 2 CS ahead. It's looking very good for him so far. But we do have to direct your attention as hang on a second. I'll take mid in a very bad spot. Does pull out the ultimate as now Bunny Remix is looking for a counter gank. But Frige is here with the Lust Dust. Does get the charm off. And everyone walks away unscathed again.
Oh, unfortunately, I think Caridian missed that second Q. I think he threw it backwards toward the mini wave, and so I'll take mid. I actually think that was a kill if that hits. It would have been super close. I could have been wrong, but it looked like it missed. At least he's keeping the pressure up on I'll take mid. This is still okay for him. I'll take mid as junk. They should be able to get some river prio here. Keep your vision up because I'll take mid needs to back here. Hard shove this wave.
Okay,
Oh,
but
no.
Caridian just decides
No,
to do
no, no.
that. What is happening? Caridian falls to I'll take mid once again off of what we were talking about last time. Just cocky positioning.
I think what he tried to do is he tried to get the empowered Q from the wall part of the terrain, so like the red part of it is like extended. So I think he was just trying to stop his back. That's what I'm assuming happened. I couldn't see. Unfortunately, I'll take mid apparently just knows the limits of this champion too well and sees the angle to go in and ignite him. He's got the electric here for the massive damage, which stinks because I think Critting had such a good tempo thing here. He could have just pushed that wave in. I'll take mid really doesn't want to stay for that. It's going to be awkward back timing. And then Critting can back TP in, and then he has free roam on the map to get some wards down or look for a gank somewhere. Unfortunately, he goes down there, and that lead and advantage that he had is just a lot smaller now.
Yeah, just like you were talking about earlier, no Seeker's Arm Guard. For I'll take mid in the mid lane.
I just don't think he cares. Like I think he's just like, I just think he is. I think he just thinks he's better. I don't think he thinks he needs it. Which
I love that.
proves he doesn't. Proves he doesn't. He just got a solo kill.
Yeah, for sure. Bunny Remix is just gonna face tank. Oh, actually dodges the Scion Q there. Just kind of dashes into him and
should be a free dragon though.
It. Yeah, it's gonna be a free dragon here for the Pickled packages though. You do have the Kaiser to be able to burn it down with the plasma passive, and Viridian's also here to give a little bit of an extra hand as TJ almost steals it. Almost steals it with the Super Mega Death Rocket, but on the other side of the map, we take a look here. Bunny Remix now taking a look up in the top side. Gonna grab the Herald. Looking pretty good for him. Is level 5 as well. Crucial. Frige is actually level 6 and does have some EXP on him. So it's looking pretty good for the Evelyn so far as they don't know that he's there. I don't believe so. I don't think that they know Frige is there.
The Wayne is slowly pushing out, but they have full sums. This looks like a hard kill.
Just be patient. Be patient, Swiss. Be patient. Okay, we're actually going to flash into it.
Oh, onto the Leona, though.
Rudy could potentially be dead here. Flash is going to be going everywhere, but TJ Sobis, he's just free firing, has the lethal tempo.
This is bad. Mid's coming down. He's got flash.
Oh, switching to rockets, has to back away here a little bit. The ultimate from Droid is available, but here comes I'll take mid. TJ Sobis taking out Swiss Army Cabinet now. It's a beautiful ultimate from Rudy, a double kill. Make it a triple kill for TJ Sobis, and Caridian just walks down to just walk away.
You hate to see it. The Nautilus got the auto attack and the CC onto the Leona. And if you look at it, look how much health Leona still has. I think they just needed to call that off after they blew the CC onto the Leona. They committed so deep after that. If I was mid, I would have been screaming, saying, look, I don't have Prio here anymore. Diana's coming down, and a good job from Dog Pound. Just they totally knew how to play that situation. They saw the overreach from Pickled Package, and they absolutely capitalized it. They have a 4-0 Jinx already. It's horrifying because it's on TJ. This early game kind of just blew up in their face again.
Yikes. Yikes is the one word I can think of. But now, it's going to be an ultimate from Swiss Army Cabinet. Could potentially catch him out. The ultimate's going to Caridian. But here comes Bunny Renix to try to get something back here. Does use the Umbral Trespass, and it will be a kill for him as now. Here comes Frige, another beautiful hook. It's a kill for Frige now. Bunny Remix is in a lot of trouble. Potentially does have the Q, uses the W, and just kind of walks away. Does some Kane things, but crucially, Bunny Remix picks up that kill onto Caridian with the Umbral Trespass and puts Caridian in even more of an awkward spot despite the CS lead.
Yep. Oh, good
Crucially
point.
As well, Scion interrupted Shen ult on the top side. You know, just a minor thing that we're just not going to touch on, you know. Could have potentially swung the fight, but Frige, okay, Swiss Army Cabinet is actually going to get a kill, but Frige is just kind of standing there, getting stun locked.
He had his ultimate too. He's so close to being able to get that off and get out. I don't think he had enough mana for it. Unfortunate. That was so weird. It looked like a good idea to go into I'll take mid, but then as soon as they landed all the CC, there was absolutely no damage. Like Caridian and Nautilus had 0 damage onto that Diana, and then Bunny Remix was there to capitalize on a Caridian who flashed with Kane ult on him. So unfortunately, he was still dead there. This Kane is scaling well. It's good that Evelyn was able to get a kill, but then it gets traded right back and puts her a little bit more behind because her tempo is a little slower because she got killed. Droid is just not going to be able to lane for a while. Like, the lane's in a weird spot for him. He doesn't have a support with him. It's 4-0 Jinx. Herald's going mid. They're looking for something here. No flash on either of these two.
Does get the ultimate onto I'll take mid. Frige is here. Does find the kill in the Bunny Renix. Very crucially, that is a great pick. Does get the turret plating though, and Droid is in a really sussy spot. Oh, please do not walk up to that turret. Oh, dear God.
Nautilus is
Okay,
close at
actually, you
least now.
know what? It's going to be fine. Nas is going to walk down. I was getting very scared because I know Rudy, and I know that if he sees a lonely Kai'Sa under tower, he's going to go for it, especially since he has the Ignite.
Rick's
So
gonna
well
die.
played on Swiss to be able to get there. So now we have a fight in the top side here.
Nice.
Microscopic Rick could potentially go down. The hate spikes miss, but they actually do connect in the end. Frege picking up another crucial kill, 3, 2, and 1 on the Evelyn. Exactly what you want to see. A little bit far behind in terms of actually does get more CS than Bunny Remix. Just crucially there, picks up another camp. As Frege's been playing pretty well on this Evelyn so far.
Yeah, he's got 3 kills. It's good early start for him. He's even farm as well. Can we go to the top lane turret real quick? Let's see how many plates he's actually able to get off this. Yeah, this is it. Plate gold is so valuable. Sometimes people just don't realize it's okay dropping certain scenarios or putting scenarios that are high pressure for you to get plates. That's so much gold that just went into the Scion's pocket. Super good that they were able to get the play to work out. The early game was an absolute disaster for the Pickled package, but just like last game, they show that they have resilience and they have good players to make good plays because they were able to crawl back a little bit of the gold and get some onto the carries. Droids stayed relatively even for how bad of a situation they were put in with this Jinx getting that triple kill. He stayed relatively even in XP and farm. Fruge's got an angle to totally carry this game. There's no cleanse on the Jinx, so she could totally get dogpiled with all the CC and then assassinated from her.
Oh, Droid actually has a really nice supercharge to get out of that, but Swiss is kind of in a really bad spot there. Rudy flashes under the tower. Does not give the kill to Droid. Well played from Droid to be able to get out of that ultimate. Very well done from him, but Caridian looking for a pick onto Rudy. He sees it. He really wants it, but he's not going to be able to get it.
Yep, they tried to roam down, but they sensed that he was coming, able to see him. Should be a free dragon. They really didn't burn too much besides Leona summoners and ultimate. I still think this is okay for them to take because I'll take mid is strong. He's got full sums and ulti here.
Yeah, Frege
he fancies it.
Yeah, Frege's looking for it. As red team, yeah, you know, Bunny just smites it. You know, there's not really a whole lot you can do, especially since that pink ward that spotted Frege at the beginning of that fight. That's pretty much all she wrote for that. Now Caridian, once again, it could potentially be caught out. The ultimate's good. Could potentially turn it, but we see Frege on the other side. The Lust Dust goes on the wrong person, as now the Umbral Trespass is just really unfortunate. And speaking of unfortunate, Swiss Army Cabinet takes another kill. Crucially from his carries, unfortunately. Well played from them, though, to be able to find that pick, as now Jazz Music is in a really interesting spot. Crucially to note as well, the Sunfire Cape, once again, onto the Scion, as now Caridian just dashes through, negates the ultimate damage, gets the root, doesn't know the Swiss is there, though.
Oh, Shadow's gonna get interrupted again.
No! Oh, but yeah, the ult does get interrupted again as the Super Mega Death Rocket also connects. Well played from Jazz to be able to stop that. I guess Jazz is popping off in 2 areas, right? His build and his gameplay. And now we're taking a look here into the mid lane. I'll take mid's in a lot of trouble. Frege is on a killing spree, and Bunny Remix has just gotta look at his team die. Unfortunately.
Yeah, it was so good. I said this at the beginning. I'll take mid plays so forward with super aggressive rune choices and summoner choices. He just like wants to play high pressure in your face all the time. And it's super exploitable. It's hard to do because he's a good player, but if you have a game plan, which it looks like they did, they've been able to punish anytime I'll take mid. Either overreaches, which he did. He tried to all-in Caridian there. Didn't get the kill. Then he gets recollapsed on because he doesn't have flash. That's the second time that's happened this game. Oh, Droid.
Oh, Droid's in a bad spot. Frege is just kind of walking away. He knows. Potentially could turn it, though. Rudy's now in a bad spot as the ultimate comes in from Droid. Is just right in the face. Does get a shutdown and is now trying to chase down Rudy. Gets the Q off. Looks pretty good. Swiss could find the hook, and there it is. It's a double kill, crucially, for Droid away on the Kai'Sa, and that's really going to help them bring back this game. Now up almost 1k gold onto them. It's looking pretty good for them, but the game is still very even.
Yeah, super good job. Frege just kind of hovering around in stealth there. Droid uses Cleanse and Flash, brought Rudy into the turret with him, so Rudy gets chunked, and all of a sudden TJ's alone. Kai'Sa can reposition off the CC to get back onto TJ to kill him. Really good job, Caridian. Just trying to go for a steal, throws his ult, hoping he can try to snipe that Rift Herald. I said this too, Buddy Remixes, I feel like he gets every single Rift Herald in the game. When I go to play this guy, I just need to make sure I always have a ward on it. Because he's always in position for it. He really values them. He wants to try to blow open the map with them, which kind of makes sense. I think that's a good strategy. Get the Rift Heralds, throw it down here, I'll take mid so we can blow up the turret there, get him some extra gold, and then all of a sudden I'll take mid's a little bit more unlocked to go make the plays that he likes to make. This game is all of a sudden in a great position for Pickled Package. The one thing that happened last time though is their positioning and how they played their comps was awkward. Let's see if they can maintain a good position here. Keep making plays without getting caught out themselves. Hopefully they keep high pressure, high tempo up, get some wards down. They know I'll take mid, still doesn't have flash. If I were them, man, I would be setting up shop around wherever the heck he is. I would not let him just side lane alone. I'd be roaming with this Evelyn to try to find him until his flash is back up, or if it's back up, burn it so he doesn't have a good flash play on this next objective.
Yeah, so far so good, but they get a nice route on the TJ. The ultimate comes out as well, but the hook is good. But here comes Microscopic. Rick dashes on in. Now TJ Sobeast picks up one. He's getting excited. A beautiful ult. It's a double kill now for TJ Sobeast. Very crucial that they got those 2 kills. Well played from the side of the dog pound.
I hate it. Every time I say something complimenting the Pickled Package, something ends up happening to curse them. They just hardcore overcommit onto TJ. He was so far into that tower. Oh, Frujay's caught too. He's got flash and R. Oh, he's
good
still
flash
dead
there to
though.
be able to get away from the Mega Death Rocket. Does have the blast cone as well, but here comes Buddy Remix.
Nice.
With the
Okay, he
Shadow
gets
Step,
away.
decides not to do anything about it. Jordan kind
I
of
thought he
says
was dead.
hello.
I thought Rudy was gonna flash and try to stun him there and then get another auto in, but nope. Rudy decides to hold it. Frujay's able to live. He has to commit a lot. They don't have a ton of pressure here now. I think this mid turret should just go down.
It is, by the way, very good that Frujay lives there because he does have Magi's and he does have a shutdown. As now Swiss Army Cabinet going to be looking for a little bit of fights here. Rudy forced to flash, but here comes Frujay with the Lust Dust, the Proto Bell forward, and he's now on a rampage. Potentially look to fight it, and here comes Jazz Music. He is unstoppable, but does not find anything else. It's looking pretty good so far for Pickled Packages. They're starting to find some picks and starting to get some confidence back.
Yeah, they're able to get some picks. Side lanes are in an awkward situation for them, though. They're able to get a kill back onto a support. They can pick up a dragon. Bot tower is going to go down. Top turret's going to go down. Get some XP onto those solo laners. It's kind of an awkward situation. That was such a good setup for the dragon. I wish Granny would have just TP just to stop the pressure onto this top turret, because you could have stopped it. Like, there's no way they're going to recontest this dragon. You could have TP'd outside of vision toward the end just to save it a little bit, but it's okay. Gold's still even. They have 2 dragons, and if for some reason they find themselves in an awkward situation, you have enough dragons to buffer the offset of the soul threat. So if you need to give up 1 or 2 later, you have plenty of wiggle room to do so, which is good, because if they need to slow the game down to get some more items or wait for the summoners to come up so they don't take a bad fight, they could always do so.
IE, crucially done on the Jinx. 2 item power spike now. Once again, we have to remember and kind of think about the AD carry itemization changes that happened a couple patches ago. Being able to second item IE or Navori is already done on the Jinx. That is massive. We're going to have to see what that third item is going to be. It could be a lot of things here. It could be the Hurricane. It could be the Rapid Fire Cannon. Hell, it could be even the Phantom Dancer to just get some extra autos in. We're not going to know, but you know what it's not going to be? It's not going to be Static Shiv. Rest in peace. Have to bring that up.
Oh yeah, man, you're making me feel old now.
Hey man, that is an item specialty in Wild Rift.
Oh, is it still in the game there?
It is.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, you know the Mickey Mouse version of League of Legends that I enjoy playing a little bit more than PC League. But anyways, you know, personal bias aside, very even on the side of the AD carries. Once again, want to bring your attention to the CS and the gold here. It's looking very good for TJ. Almost, or actually, is up 1k gold on the Jinx, and the IE is just gonna have a lot more value than the Navori quick blades on the droid. I do know that's Kai'Sa's kind of main item now is the Navori quick blades. It's actually a lot better to be able to get more supercharges and the Cathian Reigns off in a fight. So gonna have to see how that plays out for droid. But once again, right, we were talking about the positioning, we were talking about the confidence here. the Pickled packages, they're actually in a good spot here into this game. They are up only 800 gold, but okay, Rudy actually gets a beautiful connection there onto Swiss Army Cabinet, as now he's just going to try to walk away. Frige dances around a little bit, and once again, nobody dies, but those are...
TP, interesting. They're afraid of the Baron, I guess.
No ultimates crucially used on the side of the Dog Pound as well. Just to throw that out there. The ultimate from Nautilus will be up shortly, but if they did want to take a fight, they could. As now Microscopic Rick and Jazz are going to kind of be duking it out here. The top side is here we go. Frige looking for a pick on the TJ So Beast.
Meridian's going for him.
Get it though. Crucially.
Oh, Droid!
Droid's
going to carry this.
That was out of vision, as now here he comes into the back line. It's a double kill for Droid. This Kai's is looking very good.
No, he's going to go down.
Comes out for Caridian, but Bunny Remix does take out Swiss Army Cabinet. Here comes Droid, just right-clicking, trying to get another kill on the Bunny Remix. Caridian trying to get a water element, potentially will not find it. But there it is, ladies and gentlemen. The Pickled packages are alive, and they are here to play.
Yep, and Music was always in threat, so he couldn't. So Shen couldn't R. Music's just gonna interrupt it for a third time if he tries to do it. Droid gets a snipe off off TJ after TJ uses all of his sums from the assassination attempt from Evelyn. And then I'll Take Mid just totally gets stuffed on the engage by, I believe, Caridian hits him with a water element stun there. Totally stuffs I'll Take Mid, he gets blown up. That was such a good turn of events for Pickled Package. They're able to get the Baron. They're going to have total tempo on these side waves too. The Shen's not going to be able to handle the Scion anymore. You have Dragon in a minute. This should be a third Dragon for you. You love seeing the Infernal Dragon stack up. You get some extra damage. That's such a big sight from Droid, because then it kind of frees him up to dive into the back line without any threat of any damage coming from the right side of that map there when he got that. And he still has Flash, so does Caridian. So there's still a Flash R angle from Caridian. Frige has everything up. Droid has Flash. He's pretty safe here. Ult on the TJ from Shen.
Yeah, Rudy's just getting really chunked out there, but
no,
there it is with the shutdown for
Mid,
TJ So Beast. It's looking good. He's just in the back line. It's a double kill now for TJ So Beast, and that's exactly what you want to see from your AD carry. It's a triple kill now for TJ So Beast. And Pickled Packages, dude, every single freaking time we talk about how good they are, they just fumbled the bag.
My heart hurts.
That's Sword. Stop it.
Every time I try to say something good or encouraging about it, something just happens to them.
Oh, but TJ So Beast is actually getting caught out here. Oh, well played from Caridian, but at what cost though? You have 3 members coming down. Microscopic Rick just, flashes for the clout. Probably gonna give the kill.
He's buying a lot of time though.
Oh
my god, she's gonna get out.
Oh my god! No way, he actually escapes. Oh my god, he lives.
Oh my god, if this is Pickled Package, you need to run so fast to this dragon, because you're still at an angle to contest. Droid can still carry this fight. TP in for Music. He's gonna R right into this dragon.
Yeah, he does have the unstoppable force. He
Frige has Flash.
Use it. They're looking for it as Frige goes in. He steals it, but is able to knock it out. The paper is not going to matter. You have a giant meatball in your face, and here we go. The fight is here.
They're so split, they can kill them all.
For it. Doesn't able to find it. A beautiful hook from Swiss Army Cabinet. Potentially a kill here once again as Droid picks it up. Wow, that was really crucial from the Pickled Packages.
What a good job from Caridian. He bought so much time with that bot lane. I thought that was going to end up being a 1-for-1 after he kills TJ for how hard he committed to it. Gets away from that whole situation, draws the whole team away from Dragon, and then by the time they reset up for the Dragon, Pickled Package is able to regroup and force a fight. Frige flashes over the pit. I don't know if he smited, if he R'd, whatever he did, he hit the Dragon, is able to take it. Like, that was such a good series of events for them. They're in such a commanding spot now because of that.
Well played. Are the 2 words I have for Frige. Really well done there to be able to get the steal off of the ultimate, off of Evelyn. We kind of doubted this pick going in, but he is actually showing up with this pick. So really awesome to see from him. But we do have to once again talk about the fact that this game's not over, right? The kills are even. It is 2k gold down, actually, from the side of the Dog Pound. And I want to bring your attention once again, to the itemization here on the Jinx versus the Kai'Sa, right? This Jinx actually might be able to do a hell of a lot more damage than the Kai'Sa in these fights due to the Infinity Edge Perfection passive, and now has the Rapid Fire Cannon to be able to keep herself safe in these fights with autos that, just kind of hit you from 2 screens away.
Yeah, and what's what's good too is he has that stopwatch, so if he gets jumped on, he's going to have flash and heal for this next fight. I think he's going to live most of the engages unless they stack a lot of their CC together, which still is an angle. He didn't go cleanse. I think heal's probably a bad choice this game with how much CC they have that could combo you with. But with the stopwatch, it buys him a little extra safety. I'll say though, man, Droid's having some decent team fights and he's having some good picks that he's able to start popping off here. That engage that I'll take mid had when it looked like at first looked to be a disaster around there was still huge. If I'm Pickled packages, I'm just trying to like slow down. I'm just trying to like get good vision. Make sure you know where these flanks are coming from. I'll take mid or the big engages because they're in such a good spot right now just to close this game out. Music is going to be able to side lane forever. The Shen's never going to be able to answer. If he's going to hug him super close, that Shen shouldn't have to get an R, like shouldn't be able to get an R off. So you can always make it like an awkward, lopsided fight. Let's see how this Baron setup's going to go. It's going to be spawning at a minute 30. This is where you want to start prepping some good vision, getting some good deep wards around without getting spotted, just to get a good setup for your team.
Yeah, deep breaths, everyone. We have to kind of assess the map state here. Just kind of taking a look at where the vision is, what objectives are going to be coming up. Dragon in 2 minutes, Baron in 1 minute time. So we're going to take a look and see. Microscopic Rick goes a little bit aggressive, doesn't find anything off of the taunt. As now they're just actually just going to get this prio mid. I really like this here from the dog pound, right? Get
Rick
that
is in a
prio
weird
mid.
spot.
Okay, but
He's
Microscopic Rick, wow, yeah, he's
Oh,
just
creating
dead.
on the flank too.
Wow, incredible here as Rudy
Rudy's
tries
next.
to go in to salvage that play, but
Look at Caridian, look at Caridian.
fall as well. Okay, take a look at Caridian. What a beautiful ult there from Swiss Army Cabinet. They are seeing red. Their eyes are on TJ So Beast. Droid actually throws some thumbs up, but I don't think it's going to matter, but it will actually in the end. Droid here potentially looking for another kill onto Bunny Remix.
Nice.
Wow, they actually savaged that fight.
Yep.
They actually salvaged it.
Yep, 4 for 2 there. They could easily push down, get some good wave prio. Baron's going to be up in 15 seconds. They can get that too. It's just I'll take mid. There's no way I'll take mid's able to steal this either. So if I'm them, I'm going top. I'm taking that top turret, get 1 or 2 more wards in their top side jungle, and then go straight to Baron. I think they have the right idea now. They're a little late on it, but I think it's okay.
Yeah, they're pinging it. They know what they need to do, but it's
Well,
only
at this
gonna be
point, yeah, now you just need to go for Baron at this point.
Okay, yeah, you know what? We're just gonna say, all right, boys, we're just gonna take Baron. You know, that could potentially be the better call here. I personally think the tower is probably the play.
Okay.
But,
Wow. Yikes. All right, they're not gonna get any of it.
huh?
Yeah, I guess they
Wait.
just prio getting a better setup on Dragon. I guess they thought by the time they killed Baron with what damage they had, they didn't have smite, so I guess they're afraid of maybe someone randomly stealing it. I don't think they get there in time to steal it. I think you shred it with Kaisa. But when I say that, maybe they wanted prio on this, what would be their Infernal Soul. They don't have prio. They're already beat to the punch. They're going to have ward disadvantage, position advantage. So they're going to TP into Baron. This is what we're doing. Man,
Okay. Yeah,
okay.
they're just gonna go straight for the Baron. They're actually starting it up. They're gonna try to get a trade
going to
here.
handshake the objectives,
Yep,
I
they're just
guess.
gonna handshake it. But once again, Rick, we have to talk about that macro mistake they're made. There was no call to be had. I don't know who's shot calling on this team. If I had to assume, it'd probably be Free, but we're just gonna trade, I guess, instead of just take the sort of free things that are available to us there. My eyes are fixated on that top side tower. In particular, so a little bit of a missed opportunity there from the side of the Pickle packages, but they do get the Baron and now they are able to shove this in, but they're actually
Fruget's in a weird spot here.
yeah, Frige is in a really weird spot. Reveals himself
Oh,
off
so
the blast
close.
plant as Microscopic Grip just throws himself on the Swiss Army Cabinet from the blast plant as well. I really do not like how we're just gonna all siege top though. You do have a mid wave that is actually crashing as well.
Yep, I would split this up.
Yeah, so they should just be splitting here. I'm not really sure why we're just kind of walking around here in the jungle instead of just getting some pressure on some waves here. Once again, you have a wave crashing bot as well, but Frige potentially looking for a pick on a Microscopic Brick does get the Lust Dust Charm off. That is a lot of CC from them, but I'll take mid, so gonna go aggressive. Does find the ultimate, but is actually canceled out there from Caridian. Is now Droid. Throws himself from the fight. There it is, Microscopic Grip just kind of does some meditation in the middle there
Oh,
of
this
the
looks
fight.
really good for Pickle Package.
Yeah,
This looks good for them.
Yeah, this is really well done. Well played there from the
Oh, they're
side
so
of the Pickle
afraid.
Packages to be able to siege this. They have to secure that one minion that's doing a ton of damage, the one cannon minion. All eyes are on that one to do the damage that it needs to do. clear the waves, get some poke out, but we have to keep our eyes on TJ Sobeys. He's getting chunked out, but he does have the lethal tempo, he does have the rapid fire cannon, and he is playing Jinx with a Guardian's Angel. So this dude can absolutely pop off if given the opportunity.
I think they played that a little afraid. If I was Music, I think you could just R into them and do some damage. They just blew so much. Leona had no R. I'll take Midi's flash R. Rick had no ult to help with the Shen there. I think you could actually just take that turret. I think you could play way more aggressive with how strong Droid is. Droid will melt people here, but it's okay. Slow down. You don't lose anything. They didn't really gain a lot off this Baron, but luckily they didn't lose anything like they did with the last game where they had that Baron. I think again, I guess I just switch your focus to this bot side now. You just need to get good vision set up, good wards set up. You have good summoners still on your team compared to them. Without take mid and TJ not having flash, so I think you still have an angle to set up down here. As I say that, Dog Pound is doing really well trying to push in, and I think they have that same idea. They know they can't give this dragon away. They need to get a good position on it.
Yeah, and something we hadn't really talked about, excuse me, at the start of this game, was that crucially TJ Sobeys does not have cleanse.
Yeah.
In this game. So if he's caught, he's caught. There's nothing you can do, right? The heal is going to potentially bring some sort of value, but if you're getting ignited, if you're just dead in one shot, there's not really a whole lot you can do. So potentially a QSS last item, maybe. I don't see a lot of people build that item anymore, but some do. So maybe that's kind of the avenue here for TJ Sobeys. Maybe that's something he's thinking of, like, yeah, I don't have cleanse, so maybe we just buy the QSS and go that route. He does already do a ton of damage though on the Jinx.
He does, but
he
may want Lord Doms. It could still be an angle. There is decent armor on the front line of
that is true.
the Pickled package. There's merit to both builds. I'm not an AD carry expert, so I have no idea.
LDR's definitely the play.
Okay.
Let's just call it as it is. LDR's the play.
Point is, he probably needed cleanse at the beginning of the game.
Yeah,
heal's pretty low
for
value
sure.
this game.
For sure, absolutely. The heal is I don't want to say troll because it definitely helped out in the early fights though. Being able to keep himself and Rudy in a better spot with the heal. And almost try to keep them topped off in those fights, but now that we've gotten to the 34-minute mark of this game, heal just loses its value exponentially. And let's also take a look here as well at the levels. Yeah, awesome bounty gold as well. I just wanted to bring your attention to the levels as well in terms of the teams. Droid is 2 levels up on TJ.
Oh yeah, interesting. You didn't even notice that.
Which is really interesting because they have the waves coming into them. And Droid is also up in CS despite the waves going into TJ. So I'm a little confused as to how that happened. It's the Lust Dust.
It's just what happens when you're sharing waves, though. If you're A-ramming it constantly, right, you're gonna fall behind. And I guess he's just been grouped up with 1 or 2 more people.
Yeah.
Okay, Caridian's on a little bit of a flank here.
Like we talked about at the beginning of this game,
split.
though.
This could be good.
Okay, let's take a look here. Maybe potentially a fight does break out, but I do want to really quickly mention that there is something we did talk about at the start of this game, and that was the Evelynn pressure, right? Maybe that's exactly why TJ is 2 levels down, right? You can't go on the side lane by yourself because the Evelynn is just going to destroy you in like 2 seconds. So, despite the level discrepancy, right, Pickle Packages is in a really good spot. Looking for this dragon. They are going to just kind of fall off a little bit on the right side here of the river. There's a ton of pings going on. They know where they are. Farsight goes into that tri-burst there as Swiss Army Cadman's going to start the fight off. Here it is. I'll take mid going in the back line with the Shen. Does absolutely pop Droid, and Swiss Army Cadman already falls. Now I'll take mid, getting a trade as well. Frige picking up that kill. TJ Sobeys is in a really bad spot. The backline's already on him. The GA popped. It's just looking so unfortunate from them. Bunny Remix is the only one left that can do anything for his team now. As Jazz.
Oh, he's gonna get Droid.
Okay, Droid just decides to go in right there, I guess. As now Bunny Remix is now going to try to find a 2v1. Does not find it. He will go down. It's an ace now for the Pickled Packages. And what a great fight. Even though there were some very sussy mistakes, I'll say. Ulting in melee range for Droid. Well played. Good fight. Good fight on the side of the Pickled Packages. Well done.
I'm surprised that went as well as it did for the Pickled package just because Evelyn was in the front line. At first, the setup was really good because Caridian and Evelyn were on the flank coming from the Pixel Brush entrance of the river, but they made it work even though Droid got absolutely bodied at the beginning of that fight from I'll Take Mid. They were still able to turn the fight around. I guess that just comes down to the Dragon Soul advantage they had and then the item and the gold advantage already being in their side. I really thought Dog Pound was going to take that there, but with this Dragon Soul, this Baron's going to melt. Um, Dog Pounds should theoretically melt like a Kiana and an Evelyn and a Kaisa with Infernal Soul, almost full build on all of them is so much damage. I think they're in such a good position just to close this game out here. Let's see how they set up. They're always late to the setup to these objectives though, which always is going to open you up to flanks, getting death brushed, anything like that. So let's see how they play it. Let's see if they can not get caught. Droid had to use a lot in that last fight, so if there is an angle Droid's vulnerable. I'll Take Mid does have flash ult still.
Crucially,
oh,
both
Fruge,
GA,
no!
okay, Fruge just does a thing. He does a thing. It's not the right thing, but he does a thing. So now it's just a free Baron for the side.
TJ has no sums.
Okay,
TJ's gonna die.
Holy moly, a gorgeous ult from Caridian chunks TJ So Beast, and now they're in a really bad spot. TJ So Beast, wow, gets a massive shield. Could potentially still be in this fight, but you got a giant Scion sitting on your face. Jazz Music picks that one up. Eyes on Droid now, ladies and gentlemen. Does ult once again into melee range. It is a double kill now for Droid, and it looks like the Pickled packages are going to be able to secure that Baron after all. But it starts off of that ultimate from Caridian.
Yeah, Caridian doesn't have the craziest scoreline, doesn't have the craziest CS numbers, but this man has had so many good flanks on Kiana. He's hit the spells that needed to hit. He's been in the right position during the team fights, and he's been able to pop the important people on the Dog Pound. Super good job. His R basically just killed TJ in that Baron pit. TJ was so grouped onto the wall in that Baron in there. He just got absolutely decimated. Once that happened, TJ's not focused on DPS. He's focused on getting out of there. Like, so that whole fight, you just had a Jinx who was never autoing, even though she's 11 and 6, basically full build. So, great job from Caridian finding that angle. Droid's fielded himself this game. He's able to find the angles. Oh, Caridian's dead though. Every time I talk good about them, something happens.
Every single time,
oh,
Sandy.
Poor guy.
Every single time, we say something positive, right? And don't get me wrong, that play was great. Caridian played that exactly how he needed to. Jazz Music played that exactly how he needed to as well. And then that just happens. You know, we just have the Super Mega Death Rocket into W, into Auto, and then there you go. Now it's another shutdown for TJ So Beast. And I do want to remind you as well, I want to bring your all attention. There is no Guardian Angels. Hold that thought. Frige is going to be looking in and probably going to die here. Here comes the Chompers. Bunny Remix takes that kill now. As TJ So Beast, there it is. He's getting a little excited. He wants it now. He's going to be looking for it. That's a big chunk of damage down to TJ So Beast, but there's the ultimate from Microscopic Rick. Is now looking for it, getting a little bit aggressive, but here comes Jazz Music on the side. Does have the ultimate as well to potentially turn, but Swiss is just focused on getting out of there. TJ So Beast. Yeah, take a look at Droid. He's doing a lot of... Oh my god, Droid, why? Why?
So
why
it's
did
the
you do
Lee
that?
syndrome right there.
Why?
I knew Drew was thinking about it. Oh, Caridian.
What was your plan? But Caridian actually salvages the play anyways. It's a double kill now for Caridian. As there you go, the hook does miss, but Caridian looking for a potential triple kill here on the Bunny Remix as they potentially try to walk away, get some health back. Bunny Remix is going to try to go over to the wall with the Shadow Step. It's not looking very
so
likely
mobile
for him. And one more. Oh, okay, Bunny. Wow, that was a lot of health they just got back. As now a taunt comes in from Microscopic Rick. They're going melee range. If they're both so low, they're trying to do it, but will they be able to? A crucial miss from Caridian as well from the Q. Does not get it off.
Flash.
Okay,
nice.
Bunny Remix.
Woo. I thought he was going to try to bait that out a little bit more.
And they're going to get mid for it. They're going to get mid for it.
Yeah, this game just kind of is all
we
over
talk
the place.
Can we talk about that ult from Droid?
Yeah, I saw him hit the second W, and DJ was so low, and I was just saying, "Oh, take it, Droid, take it," just for the memes. I didn't actually think he would end up taking it. The 1-for-1 proved to be worth it because Caridian was able to come back in the fight so quickly.
Did Droid have both sums in that fight? Did he have both sums and he did that?
I don't remember if
could
he
have
had.
gotten out. To be honest,
There was an
could've.
angle because its shield was huge. He got from going in, but it's actually good that he saved sums because with this Elder coming out, I'd be afraid to flip an Elder against. I'll take mid, but it's up. So good thing that he saved his summoners for that just in case he gets a little dicey. I don't. Oh no, his GA won't be up because his GA just got popped in the last fight, which is super awkward. TJ has full sums as well.
Well, hold on a second. It says that his GA is up.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Yeah,
For
so
some
he
reason
will
I thought it got popped.
No,
We're
you're
we're
good. He will have GA for that fight, but you know who
Oh,
doesn't
yep,
have GA
you're right.
is TJ.
Yep.
TJ does not have GA. He sold it actually for the Lord Dominic's regards instead of just keeping it. So TJ is now more vulnerable than ever at the moment.
Grading on
As
a big
Caridian
flank
is now
here.
lurking. Okay, another crucial Void
see him.
Missile hits TJ once again, but there's Frige. Look, eyes all on Frige.
Watch the
here.
flanks.
Yep, there's the flanks, and Caridian gets a massive ultimate.
It's over.
Frige
Nice.
gets the kill, and ladies and gentlemen, the Wombo combo finally gets into it as Droid just absolutely more than makes up for it. It's a triple kill for him now, and ladies and gentlemen, we are going to a game number 3 here in this series. The Pickled packages are not out of this just yet.
So happy they were able to pick up that win, especially with the Jinx getting those early kills at the beginning of the game. They kept making their plays. They felt comfortable doing it. This is such a big mental swing for them. They really needed this win, and I think it just showed that they are really good players who can still make good plays. So happy to see it. Caridian had some really good flanks. Frige had some good flanks, even though he got caught out toward the end. And then Droid eventually just got to a point where he could feel himself and just pop off in those fights.
Yeah,
And Music was a good tank. And
you know
Swiss
what?
was a good Nautilus. I gotta give everyone the
I
props.
can't say much. I have flashed over drag pits after a fight for tempo plays before, so like I guess I can't really harp on the fact that Droid made that play because it did end up in the long run work out. Let's take a look at those damage graphs real quick before we go to a little break here. Yeah, he didn't even do the most damage on his team. Take a look at that damage from Caridian, 47,000 damage. But you know what? The Kaiser didn't really need to do all that damage, right? Because you have the Evelyn and you have the Kiana, and just like when we talked about at the start of this draft, right? If Frige is actually able to get that pressure off and is able to pull off the Kiana and just be a menace in the shadows there, the game state completely changes, right?
Yeah.
TJ gets 2 levels down off of the Kaiser, right? Because he's not able to catch those waves because Frige is just going to be able to just walk in and just murder him in 2 seconds.
Mhm.
So really well played from the Pickled packages here. We're going to go to a break, a 3-minute break. Don't go anywhere. Game 3 coming up in just a moment now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to TCL Season 6 here. Game 3 between the Pickled Packages and the Dog Pound. And Sandy, the model for this game is wrong formula, right answer.
Yeah.
And the reason
Basically.
why I say that is because I'm gonna say it again, man. Like, positional mistakes be damned, right? We ult into 5 people as Kai'Sa, and we still make it work. Let's talk a little bit about that last game and break it down before we go to Champion Select.
Yeah, I think Pickled Package showed some resilience and some good playmaking from players that are not afraid to pull the trigger. Droid stepped up a lot after being put at a deficit in his lane. He was able to turn a disadvantage into an advantage by playing smart throughout the game. And then what it really came down to is kind of touched on it a little bit at first, at the beginning of the game. That first game they played in the series, they played a front to back disengaged comp, like super split up. They never were playing together. Then they draft this team in the second game, and they have the freedom to flank and play a little bit more separated because they have mobility or they have stealth or they have champions that can flank and don't necessarily want to play front to back. And it ended up paying dividends for them because they looked a lot more comfortable, even if they had some plays that were scuffed and didn't go their way. They just looked more comfortable as the game developed to play that way.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I kind of wish I would, like, just in terms of TJ, to be honest with you, I actually don't like this Varus ban anymore because now you've proven that you actually can play the double flank, right?
Yeah.
So the Varus is just going to have the same issues with positioning as the Jinx. But to be honest, like while we were in that break and I was going to get water, I had a couple of thoughts into what champions that TJ could have potentially picked out into that comp. He could have played the
Xayah.
Caitlyn, he could have played Xayah, he could have played Ezreal.
Yeah.
He could have played those 3. But chose the Jinx, which is understandable because you need hyper late game damage, right? As I fumble over my words, you need that in your comp, right? Makes sense. On paper, Jinx is really strong, but in terms of execution, it just ended up not working out because the Evelynn just got too far ahead, and the ults from Caridian just proved to be too much for the Jinx, and regardless of how well you positioned, they were always able to get on top of you regardless. So probably would have liked to see something there instead, but we are just going to first pick the Scion. Been a pretty big power pick here for both sides of the coin here, as we're just going to see that first pick. Kind of having a little bit of a tease of the music Jace that we all love to meme about in TCL culture. I don't think we haven't. Yeah, we haven't. One day we haven't seen that in a while.
He actually played it against. He played it against us week 1. He played it top.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess I haven't seen it. But you know what champion I don't like to see is the Mundo. I am terrified if I'm playing against Mundo, and there's only one champion I can think of that does good into that, and that's Vayne. But I don't think anybody will play this Vayne. Maybe Droid has like an aha moment and is like, you know what? Put me on. You know what? I'm just gonna toot my own horn here again. Just relishing in the memories. Just the blind pick Vayne. It like just do it, Droid. You can do it. If you're gonna ult into 4 people, do the blind pick Vayne. It's time. As we're actually gonna see the Graves here.
Oof.
Crucially,
I
I
don't
did
know if
want
I
to
like
point
that.
out as well. The Kindred was also banned again. So the
Yeah.
Lilia is open, and I think if you are Bunny Remix, you're really thinking about that. You're really thinking about the Lilia.
Lilia looks good here. This seems like a good Lilia game.
It's probably going to be the play here as the Nautilus gets picked up as well, so you know exactly what that's going to mean. Yep, there it is. There's the Lilia, but you know what? I love to say it. I'll say it again. What's the counter to a deer? A shotgun. So it's looking pretty good here for Frige so far. But yes, I will say it's looking very good for the Lilia, right? The percentage max health damage on both those tanks is going to be very good. Has a lot more team fight potential with the Lullaby Lament or whatever the ultimate's called. So it's looking very good.
I think you run this bot lane back for for Droid and Swiss. I think you just lock in Kaisa if it's not banned here. This looks like a Kaisa angle. And then I think if you're them, I think you just hard ban out mid. I would just take out Echo and Diana.
Yeah, you probably just have to either take the Kai'Sa or ban the Kai'Sa. I do know TJ is actually a really big Kai'Sa player, and that is one of his best champions by far. And when the champion is meta, he does tend to dominate the Rift, so we'll have to see if he's able to pick that up. They might just ban it. Droid might be just thinking about potentially picking it. Could also be, once again, another Jinx angle as well, since the champion's so strong. As the Diana is actually going to be banned away this time. There is going to be no Diana in this game. Very heads up play there from the Pickled packages there, being able to take out, I'll take mid's best champion.
Yeah, and I think if I'm them, I'd ban Echo because I think it's going to pinch him into maybe an 80 mid laner, which I think you're okay with. Given your comp with Nautilus, Graves, and Scion, they can handle AD mids pretty well.
Yeah,
I think you ban Echo here.
what AD mid are you going to play here? Like Trist? Like, I don't really...
I see him doing that. I see him like thinking Zed, but I guess just thinking of who he is as a player, I think next he would probably go, if it's not an AD mid, Victor.
Yeah, could actually be Victor as well, right? I'll take mid has been very good on the Victor in the past, so could potentially be that. I do think you blind AD here, to be honest. If you're TJ, just kind of get your pick. Okay, yep, he knows. He's either watching the stream or he just has the cojones to do it. It is going to be the Vayne. I absolutely love this pick. This is a staple in TCL, ladies and gentlemen. Historically, Vayne has been very good at disrupting the TCL meta because, as we all know, we love to pick giant meatball comps, and it also kind of takes away the Vayne potential from Droid as well to be able to play that into the Mundo. So, probably just going to be the Kai'Sa here. If I had to guess, Droid probably going to be able to pick that up. But you know what?
Man.
Yeah, if you can't beat him, join him. It's the Seraphine, baby. We're putting all the cards here onto Caridian and Frisier to be able to carry this game. Interesting from Droid, but I know that he's willing to go that route if he's willing to.
I think you go Cassio here. I know Caridian had a rough game. What on it? I think you go Cassio. Cassio seems turbo here.
Yeah, for sure. Actually, Cassio's nuts here, but yeah, you know what? It's gonna go for the Ari instead. Give a little bit of mobility. Blind pick Ari as well. Probably a lot safer than a blind pick Cassio, I would imagine. Once again, my mid lane knowledge is not very well. Yeah, there's the Echo.
So Ari could do okay into it. She just needs to hold her charm until like Echo dashes with his E, and you just need to make sure you position yourself as Ari. So when you throw the E in response to Echo's dash, it doesn't hit a minion. It can still do okay, but Echo can still have good kill angles on Ari pre-6.
Yeah, and the wise words of my friend Steve here, you know, Vayne is like a wonderful Lamborghini, right? If you're able to drive it, you look pretty damn cool while doing it. But if you crash and burn it, what is it really? It's just a damaged car at that point. So we'll have
Hopefully
to
he
see
takes cleanse.
Yeah, it's definitely a cleanse game for the Vayne, for sure. I gonna be honest with you, I think he needs to take the cleanse this game. It's probably gonna have to be that angle for him. But once again, really strong comps on both sides. I think I actually prefer the Pickled packages comp regardless of kind of the low DPS angle. You do get the true damage from the Ari return Q, and then you obviously have Graves to just blast them. But there's just a lot more consistent DPS on the side of the dog pound with the Vayne and then also the Lilia ticks. So it'll come down to execution here, and that's exactly what we love to see in TCL.
This could be an angle for Mundo to completely roll through this game because the lack of consistent DPS is scary against Mundo. Like Burst is just, I don't know, Burst just doesn't always feel good against Mundo. If you have good burn on him and healing cut, you just kind of whittle him down over time. That's why I was kind of looking at the Cassio angle because Mundo's never really going to flank. Tiny Rick's not like a flanker on Mundo. So it would be really hard for him just to run straight into a Seraphine Cassio, like Nautilus type situation too. And the whole team in Dog Pound is super low range, but I guess Caridian values the playmaking more than the scaling control mage, which kind of reflects on how game 1 and 2 went. Like the Cassio, it's not a bad Cassio, but he didn't have the freedom that I think he wanted to have that he could have had on the Kiana. So maybe that's what their angle is here. If Rick gets ahead, though, I think this could be a really pop-off game for him. They could have trouble killing him.
Yeah, you know what I really would have loved to see in this composition? A Vagar on the side of the pickled packages
Yeah,
here.
it's the same. Yeah, it's the same concept as Cassio. You just have short-range champions on one side, and then you have a W spell that can just really wall people off, or stifle an engage, or just create a ton of space for you to play with. That's a super good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm looking at this comp, and I'm just thinking of a baby cage, and I'm thinking of a Seraphine screaming at you with a with a bearded man throwing a smoke grenade in your face, and a Scion just ramming into you. So, really would have liked to see the Vagar here, but it is going to be the Ahri. Does give a lot more roaming potential, and could potentially be lane dominant here into the Echo. We haven't really seen a lot of Echo play. I'll Take Mid is actually the only one that really plays this pick in mid. Primarily and historically, it's been more of a jungle pick, and I don't think we've seen it in top at all. But there is also the potential that Echo top, but Tiny Rick is definitely not the kind of guy to play that. He prefers. Prefers. Goodness gracious, I'm
He
so tired tonight.
prefers
He
tanks, performs well on tanks, right?
Yes, precisely.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Prefers that as
Yeah,
we
lots
have
of
a
bosses
special
here.
guest here. Yeah, we got Tail Whip. What's going on, man?
They have the queen. They win.
Okay, XD, man, XD, XD. You know
just
what?
saying.
Yeah, that is true though. We do need to talk about the Seraphine here actually, because the Seraphine actually enables something. Tail, if you could actually confirm this with me, because I do know that you are the Seraphine AD
connoisseur.
carry. Yeah, the Seraphine ADC mastermind here. Seraphine enables the roam potential for Swiss Army Cabinet because she's able to 1v2 the lane, especially into a pick like Vayne and Leona. So go ahead and talk to us a little bit about the positives of this pick, regardless of the lack of consistent DPS.
Well, you press W, and then you heal and shield a lot, and then the wave clear is also super good, and it's the best champion in the game, and she's my
Uh-huh.
queen.
Uh-huh.
I don't know, it's my queen. That's what I got. That's what I'm here for. I'm not AD
Seraph-
carry anymore. I don't know how AD
Seraphine
carries
is
work.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, Seraphine's real. She follows me on Twitter, and this game proves it. So thank you very much, Tail, for popping in. Is there any other insights you have on the draft before we get into game 3 here?
Vayne's are going to be scary, and they're going to have such a hard time killing the Mundo. It's going to give a lot of room for the Vayne to do stuff. And if TJ builds correctly, he will be unkillable this game.
What
So,
what
agree.
what would be the correct build?
if he doesn't have a wit's end somewhere, he's trolling.
True.
Love to hear it. Thank you so much, Tail, for popping in. Greatly appreciate your insight on the Seraphine to carry pick. I know you're a connoisseur, and I know you love to see it. Regardless of how resident sleeper it is in the lane, it is
What?
very good. And
What? What?
oh, come
Fighting
on.
words. Fighting words, brother.
Okay, here's the thing. I'm an Ezreal connoisseur, okay? I understand how boring it is.
Q. Me
Yeah,
farm, me Q.
I understand how
How
boring
about some
it
heals
is
and
to
shields, brother? Make you
Okay,
feel good.
fair enough. You know what? That is true. When you did coach me on the Seraphine AD carry for a couple weeks, I did actually feel very useful playing it because of just the W
It's
shield.
broken, bro.
I will agree. I will agree. It's pretty pog. It's pretty broken. It's pretty good. But in the hands of someone like Droid, we do know that he's able to pilot this champion pretty well. So I am excited to see what he's able to do for the squad here, and I'm excited to see the roam potential from Swiss Army Cabinet. That's kind of the big question mark here: is what kind of roams is he able to get off? What is he able to do and to impact the map? So that's kind of been the big question marks here for this game as we head into it. We are just waiting for the game stream as well, and it looks like we're getting into it. Once again, I want to shout out Tail Whip. Thank you so much for coming in for that insight. As ladies and gentlemen, it is game number 3 of TCL Season 6, the Pickled Packages versus the Dog Pound, in one final standoff to determine the victor of this match, and will become 1-1, potentially 0-2 or 2-0.
I like how you talked about Droid being able to 1v2 the lane. That's something that's so important. That happened in game 2. I'll Take Mid had a lot of good plays. He flashed in a lot to make the plays. But after that, like, he's flashless, playing pretty aggressive in his mid lane still. And you saw a lot more plays being made around him when his flash was down. And they were able to capitalize on his over aggression, which is something I always say you have to try to do. You can't let this guy get away with murder because he's always going to murder someone. And if you can't capitalize or make a play off of it, it feels so punishing. So if Droid gets a good scenario where he can easily 1v2 the lane and the Swiss can just come up and hover against this Echo, it could be a really good win condition and a win angle for them. Because I'll take mid, even though he had a really good game 2, he did fall behind in terms of items and tempo. Like, he was still making the plays, but sometimes the stats weren't always there to back it up because of it. So let's see how this goes. Hopefully they can stick to that type of game plan. We have Flash, Ignite, Electrocute on him again, so it's pretty obvious he wants to play up in his face in this mid lane.
I do happen to know a thing about 1v2 in the lane. I did it for quite a long time. Did it in TCL,
My man.
did it in Collegiate. Yeah, my man. Droid, a man after my own heart. As we're going to be paying attention here to the mid lane. This is something I definitely wanted to highlight here. Who's going to be able to get that push? Once again, crucially, I'll take mid is on the Ignite angle once again. I'm going to be trying to play a little bit more forward. Excuse me. Does not have the teleport, as Caridian does hit the level 2 first. Potentially does have the charm, but will not do anything with it. It's kind of potentially getting the pressure here, as the charm actually doesn't have the charm. Did actually take W instead. Very good trade from I'll take mid. Good try to get the chrono. The Z-Drive passive off, as speaking of level 2, TJ and Rudy on the bot side of getting level 2 as well. And I'll take mid.
Aggressive.
Oh my god, just showing his dominance, throwing
had
the Ignite out, trying to get an early kill, but here comes Frige looking for a nice kill. The smoke bomb comes out, but doesn't find anything much, as well as Bunny Remix now showing himself on the top side, just kind of saying hello, how are you, prancing their way around. As Frige actually potentially looking for an angle here, does actually miss the Q. That's actually very crucial. That's a lot of damage actually lost in this fight. Does get the bullets back up, potentially looking
He's
to go
so
back
lucky
in.
I'll take mid chose to engage on Ari there, not roam up. Like, Frige
Oh.
had such a scary situation there because Mundo had prio. You know I'll take mid has prio over Caridian because Caridian had to flash because he went W instead of charm level 2, so I'll take mid is able to get that jump. Frige actually was really lucky there that he didn't get collapsed on.
Yeah, that's really crucial that you mentioned that, because if I'll take mid does get that roam off, it's disaster for Frige. He's
Yeah.
gonna have to flash, he'll probably lose that. As now Swiss Army Cabinet does actually
Trade.
find the hook on the TJ, and a lot of damage on TJ too. What are the weaknesses about Vayne? And this is something that we always like to touch up on, right? When we talk about these Vayne picks, it's the lack of range, right? If you're playing against something like a Caitlyn or a Seraphine, you're kind of having a really awful time in the lane. But
Yeah.
you're betting on the fact that you can get to that 3-item power spike. You know, you're able to get to that shield bow, wits end, rage blade sort of situation. Or if you're a Giga Chad, you know, maybe you go the Borg first. I'm not too sure on that. But, you know, able to get to that 3 items, get the Rage Blade, get the Wits End, you know the drill. Vayne just kind of 3 taps you and then you kind of die regardless. So,
Right.
so far, Droid doing pretty well, holding the wave in the spot that he needs it to be in.
Yep, good start for him. Top side, tank versus tank matchup. Sion definitely wins this against Mundo early on, but Rick is perfectly fine with just scaling this game. Bot's even. Mid is in a winning situation. Man, he just plays so
speaking of
aggressive.
Mid, I'll take mid is going really aggressive. It's the first
God.
blood out for I'll take mid, but does get traded out to Caridian. Crucially, though, Caridian does have the TP. Now here comes Frige in the top side, getting a lot of damage onto Microscopic Rick. The second Q misses once again, but does get the flash out of Rick regardless. I take that as a successful gank. Well played by Frige.
You want to try to dive this bot lane?
I wouldn't bet on it. It's a Seraphine Nautilus side. I don't think this lane is actually diveable unless TJ gets a good condemn off. The beat drop, as well as just all the CC and the shielding from both of Nautilus and Seraphine. I feel like that's not really the lane you really want to gank, as I'll take mid once again, getting pretty aggressive. Does get the shield off to be able to negate some of that minion damage, just trying to clear the wave.
I just cannot get over how aggressive and how in your face he plays every game. It's so oppressive and it's so hard to deal with. Unfortunately, Caridian does go down in the 1-for-1. He did have TP, so he could TP back and still like keep a CS lead. I just think the mental warfare though that I'll take mid's gonna have over him is gonna get scary. At least he does have level 6 now on Ari, so he can get away. But having to use your ult as Ari, like defensively, just doesn't feel as good. Your roams feel way less impactful if you ever get the chance to make them. If you have to feel like you have to ult to get away from the Echo.
Yeah, for sure. And there's that tech that you were talking about a little earlier there, being able to use the charm off of the phase drive there, or
Yep.
the E from I'll Take Mid to be able to get that and
Okay.
hold up here. We do have a little bit of a fight here. Smoke bombs dropped. Second charm misses actually.
He's gonna die.
Crucially, okay,
my
there
God.
it is. I'll Take Mid finding the kill with the ultimate there is now. It's a little bit of a scrappy fight here as, speaking of scrappy fights, we got something going on bot side here. Droid crucially out of mana. Gonna have to back off there, but trade does look good. 2 CS lead, 3 CS lead now for TJ Sobeast, and I mean, we've said it once, we'll say it again. I'll take mid, just dominating the mid lane here against Caridian, showing his knowledge on pick of Echo here, one of his second signature picks that we'd like to see a lot of here in TCL.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Caridian just forgot that he could R back. I don't know if he didn't see the shadow, but he was sitting right on it, and I'll take mid. Like, he's going to take that shadow back every single time, even if, like, Graves has an angle to flash on him and kill him. Unfortunate, I'll take mid's at a 2-1 start. He's got a lead now, even though he's down 13 CS. He's going to have his flash coming up relatively soon here. I don't even know if this Ahri's gonna ever have an angle to kill him with this Graves now, just how strong Echo is. Another thing that stinks too is now that Echo's having so much damage for an assassin, a mobile assassin. Hang on, we have a little play up top.
Yeah, we got
This
some action
could be
here
a
at the
kill
top side.
if you
Jazz
play it
Music's
right.
in a really awkward spot here. Buddy Remix just kind of getting in their
Try
face.
to stay in front of
Getting
him.
the Conquer proc. Gotta remember that Lilia is now a melee champion, excuse me, instead of a ranged
Oof.
one. Getting off the
Alright.
Conqueror procs pretty quickly there, just kind of throwing him off the pass, forced him to TP back into the lane. Wave state's not looking pretty good on the top side. Maybe Microscopic Brick decides to say screw it and shove the wave in potentially, but the TP does come up top side, and Pickle Package now looking for the dragon, trying to get that off, but we do see a play
stuck
here.
at turret. This is
Rudy.
okay for him.
Hold on here, we do have some action. Swiss Army Cabinet does miss the Q. Rudy gonna be able to back off here. Make it out alive. We see TJ Sobeast is also under tower. We see that pushing power from the Seraphine as well. One of the things we failed to mention about the Vayne is the lack of wave clear that the champion actually has.
Yeah.
Right? The Seraphine is always going to be able to get prio onto that Vayne in any given scenario, in any situation. Right? 1v2 gets the prio, 2v2 gets the prio, 3v2 will get the prio. So now we take a look here as I'll take mid is just absolutely decimating Caridian. Maybe he might go in with the E. He definitely has enough damage to do it, but here comes Frige. Eyes on that ultimate though. Caridian has to be very careful, but too little too late. I'll take mid, just gonna play it safe. Is now Jazz Music here. Frige now in a really
Numbers are not in your
spot.
favor.
Yeah, potentially get the steal off. I'm not sure who got that. I could not see it. I'm trying to find it here. I do believe it was the Lilia. Yes, it was. I'll take mid. Does actually get the kill once again. Is now TJ Sobeast gets a kill on Swiss Army Cabinet in the bot side. It's a double kill now for I'll take mid. Make it a potential triple kill. No, it is not. But it is a double kill onto the bot side. We're just taking a look at this quick little replay here to see how this happened in the bot side, because to be honest, we kind of don't have a clue. This looks like a little bit of an overstep. Oh, Swiss Army Cabinet just throwing himself there. The droid's in a bad spot because here comes the condemn. I know it's coming.
Yep.
There it is. You hate to see it. Double kill for the Vayne. Very crucial in this lane. You definitely don't want to see that happen.
Oh, you hate to see it. They just overstep. Swiss flash or misses the hook at such an awkward time to go in. TJ sees the angle to jump in. Droid flashes to, like, I think just try to reposition the R, and then next thing you know, TJ flashes the Seraphine R. There's nothing to stop him. He's just gonna absolutely run into them. Unfortunate. That Herald play, I don't know why Pickled Package just steps up to that. Caridian had to have told people, hey, I just had to flash, I just had to R. I'm like super chunked. Echo has basically everything up at this point still, but you still opt into the 2v3, and then Caridian still walks over with nothing up, and then he died. That was such a bad thing. You unfortunately just have to sack that Herald. There wasn't an angle where you win that fight, get Herald 2. Maybe you can get 1 kill, maybe 2, but you're still going to come out losing. It's kind of unfortunate.
Sorry to cut you off there at the last second. I kind of want to say, if you're the bot side of the Pickle Packages, you don't even fight there.
No, 100%. You never
You
fight
definitely just don't. You just shove the wave and then just back.
Yeah, you didn't pick that lane to fight, right? You picked that lane to stay even, wave clear, maintain your wave state, whether it's pushing, whether it's staying back. There is no incentive to fight. You're not a fighting lane, right?
Yeah, for sure. I just don't. I mean, I can understand the pressure, right? It's just like, oh, we see. Oh, okay. Droid's in a really bad spot. TJ Soapbeast on a killing spree, putting on a clinic in the bot side. Man, that's just really unfortunate. Now 3 kills onto the Vayne, almost close to shield bows. Now Jazz Music's also in a tough spot. Caridian getting gamed on here in the mid lane by the Echo as well. I'll take mid.
He could get flashed on here with Ignite. He could die.
Yep, I'll take mid. Does have the ult
He's dead.
as well. Yep, there it is.
Oh
there it is. I'll take mid. Probably gonna actually ult there. Yep, you see it there. Kind of just uses the W there. Could potentially get another kill on the Swiss Army cabinet if he's a god, but decides to walk away. He does have the E to be able to walk out. Oh, he's actually gonna go in. He just kills him.
There's a lot of disrespect coming down from this fight onto this 5-in-1 Echo. This is, he's putting on a clinic. He's showing why this is one of his best champions. We said it. I said you throw a Diana and Echo ban at him, force him onto something like Victor. Victor's never going to make the plays that Echo's making here. The threat that you have against you is not there. You put him on something that he's less comfortable on, and he's just absolutely running away with this mid lane. This is a huge mid gap. Bot lane had a massive blunder by overstepping. Now all of a sudden Herald goes down bot, the towers are cracked open, and there is like a 6k gold lead at 12 minutes in. This is really bad because you had lanes that had the potential to stay even and maintain their own leads, and it's just absolutely blown up just from I'll take mid and TJ playing well.
Yeah, that's another thing we have to discuss too, the lack of scaling on the side of the Pickled packages, right? You cannot afford to blunder this early game way that they have so far, because you have picks like the Echo, you have picks like the Lilia, and you have picks especially like the Vayne. So very doomy and gloomy so far for the Pickled packages, but we have seen crazier things in TCL, that is for sure. We've seen
what gets scary here is
things.
like, who's gonna side lane against this Echo at this point? Like, no one. He's 6-1. No one with flash. I don't even know who you send to side lane, because all of a sudden you're gonna have total cryo on your side lanes. Little engage on the TJ. Good cleanse. He needed to do that. Nice.
Yeah, well done there from TJ. So Beast, the reaction time very good there to be able to cleanse that. This is what we're talking about. If he had heal, he was pretty much dead. I think that was the biggest blunder that he made last game, was just not having the cleanse. Right?
Yeah, I agree.
It forces you to buy that QSS, and to be honest, QSS is kind of a really bad item. So, I mean, people probably disagree with me on that, but I do think it's kind of a bad item. It's now Frige in a little bit of a rough spot here. Rudy gets onto him as now Swiss Army Cabinet's just melted into butter. I'll take mid, hitting him with the glow stick now. A nice ult from Droid, but what is it really going to amount to is Frige just getting slapped and is just sleeping with the fishes. Jazz Music now just kind of throwing himself at the Vayne, trying to get any kill, but yeah, I mean, it's Vayne. You just kind of tumble your way out. Yeah, I'm not sure, brother. I got to be completely honest.
Oh, they can get him?
Oh, they actually do get a kill on Microscopic Rick. Goes to Jazz Music, though. Does not go to Droid. I don't think that's really where you want that kill to be, but once again, take a look at the gold lead, ladies and gentlemen. It is just so immaculate. And on these scaling picks, on the side of the dog pound, it's so rough, man. It's so rough.
Yeah, I'm struggling to find the angle. I don't think they're ever going to scale or get enough CC just to stack onto people where it's going to matter. I'll take mid so far ahead. He could just shove that bot wave. You saw him hovering on the tri-bush. At the bot side, he's able to collapse with a good flank, kill Swiss, threaten Caridian to walk back up through red toward mid. Caridian dies. TJ dancing on a knife's edge. He had like 100 HP, but he's just walking around all the Scion abilities because he's clumsy. Dodges the E from the Seraphine. He's 3-0-4. Think you could just go Wit's End next, and I don't think they ever kill you. This looks rough. This looks really, really rough. You have TJ and I'll take mid, showing why they're some of the best players in TCL, why they're high elo, and why they understand so many champion versus champion matchups, because they're kind of just running away with this.
Yeah, another thing to mention, Music is on the I Hate Mythics hype train first item. Once again with the Titanic Hydra. I don't think this guy's got a Mythic first item in any game that he's played tonight, because I completely blundered and forgot that Sunfire Cape is no longer a Mythic, but I mean, doesn't go for the Sunfire, goes for the Titanic Hydra, which is a very interesting adaptation. As now Microscopic Rick just kind of throwing cleavers, doing a ton of damage with them. Kind of just doing what he pleases, you know, getting the job done. As now I'll take mid, gets a stun off onto Jazz Music, just kind of toying with him. Throwing the thumbs up, he knows what he's about. He knows how strong he is this game. and I'll take mid just absolutely just taking over the game so far.
Yeah, he
And
is.
a very different departure from last game.
Yeah, he just outplayed Caridian so hard, and now he can just basically do whatever he wants, and I don't think it's ever going to stop. He can get Zanyas. It looks like he's building in a Nashor's Tooth, which with the Nashor's Tooth buff is a really good item right now. It's super gold efficient. It's really good on these assassins that play like this. He's gonna get Death Cap. Like, he's just gonna absolutely pop Droid, Caridian, and Fruge. They have CC, but I don't know if they're going to be able to lock it down. I'm just not seeing it.
Yeah, poor Frege
Here we
can't even
go.
get his wolves. It's a
God.
3-man stun from I'll take mid. Oh, Swiss Army Captain is also sleeping with the fishes as well as Caridian tries to go
Oh,
in,
he's
gets
dead too.
his health bar completely deleted. It's a double kill for I'll take mid. Jazz Music Joel actually gets a nice 3-man cleaver there, trying to back off. He knows that the Vayne will melt him. Frege and Jazz Music just kind of watching this game fall apart in front of their eyes. Only 2 kills to their name. The Pickled packages on a very rough start to this season as of right now.
There's a good die here too.
Yeah, man, I really don't. I think, honestly, just looking at this game, right, I think it starts in draft. I really do, because you're banning things like the Varus and the Callista, which the Varus is completely understandable, right? But I don't think TJ is going to play a champion like Varus if you have a comp like you have now, right? He has the Vayne here. He's able to shred them. He's able to dodge with Q. He's able to keep himself alive with the Condemn. He has Final Hour, which allows him to be able to have invisibility. Like, I feel like it just comes out of draft here. I would have much rather played not into Lilia and not into Echo this game.
Yeah.
So it just, I don't know. But again, the game's not over yet. Despite the gold lead, despite the kills, despite the scoreboards, right? Only 2 kills being given to the Pickled packages here. We have seen crazier things, crazier comebacks in TCL. We've seen comebacks at 10k gold down, 8k gold down, right? We've seen it everywhere in the history of TCL. Potentially could have a comeback here today to close out the win and become 1-1 with Pickled packages, but it's just looking very unlikely so far.
With the Varus thing too, it's like we've talked about like 4 or 5 champions that TJ could play and play them really well. So it's like, is Varus that scary and OP that you're that afraid? Like, he had a pop-off game on Vayne where he was like 4-1 at one point, finished like 11 or 12 kills. He's popped off with Vayne now. Jinx in the prior game and now Vayne. So he's basically had crazy good games every time. I think I'd much rather throw the ban at I'll Take Mid and Bunny Remix, where their hyper play-making aggressive ability or their comfort on it can be offset a little bit, versus like where TJ is going to have like 5 or 6 champions that he can equally pop off on. You know what I mean? I don't think you can convince me that Varus is that scary in his hands, that he's 20 times more scary than he already has been this series. So I said in draft I would have thrown the bans at Echo and Diana. I don't think I would take the chance at skill checking. I'll take mid like he did. Oh, Droid. Oh my god.
Yeah, Droid's just kind of taking the tower here. Microscopic Grip potentially looking for a kill as he's going to pick up the elixir
Flash
here
Rick.
to keep himself going. Droid screams at them, tries to get something done. Jazz just kind of throws us all and misses completely. Microscopic Rick with a very good flash as now the dredge line connects, trying to look for some sort of kill. They will be able to send all the forces there. It's a shutdown for the Nautilus. Oh no, you hate to see it as Caridian now potentially has up and goodness, dashes right into him. Does has outplay potential, but it will not matter. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll Take Mid on Echo is a spectacle to watch.
Yeah, I'm tempted just to leave it open whenever I end up playing him, just to see if I can skill check him, but at the same time, I don't want to lose this bad, so maybe I just ban it. He seriously is really good at it. I can't get over how well he knows the angles and how fearless he plays, but then he just always walks away like a winner, even though he plays so recklessly. And maybe it's not even reckless at that point because he's playing it so well and getting away with it. But it's scary, man. And he's still only at 2 items and he's doing so much damage. If he buys Zanya's or if he buys Death Cap to get more damage, he's gonna kill everyone. He usually could 2v1 or 3v1 in some of these fights. Like,
Yeah,
Droid will never do anything to him.
Yeah, he's gonna kill people more than he already has been. Eyes up though on the scoreboard. Rage Blade is completed for the Vayne, so you love to see 2-hit passive procs from Vayne. You love to see it there. Already done. Going to be shredding through the Scion more so than he already has been. And you know, the Leandra's coming out for Droid. I do think that is the most optimal, mythic for him. You do need that percentage max health burn. So I do think that's the move. And then once again, Even Shroud, just kind of looking at the scoreboard here. Bunny Remix, you know, pulling out the Demonic Embrace tech as well. 7 assists on the Lilia as well. Just absolutely just running over the map here. Free gonna go for a Lord Doms. Lord Dominic's regards, most likely, to kind of get some more damage. His jazz music just kind of runs into the face of 3 people, says hello, flashes the ult, tries to get unstoppable, but a beautiful flash to stop it there from Bunny Remix. Well played as TJ. So
TJ gets flipped though.
Oh, TJ actually gets hit.
Okay.
Caridian gets the shutdown as well, but eyes on I'll take mid. Where is he?
They're just going. They're just going for the
fight.
bot lane.
Yes, Caridian's going to be looking for it. The charm misses. Bunny Remix is now in a hell of a lot of trouble. Tries to get some sort of damage down, but once again, Free-Jay going to look for it. His droid also kills Rudy somehow. The ult barely doesn't kill Bunny Remix, but here comes Caridian trying to get some sort of damage. Does find it anyways. But look who it is knocking at your door. It's I'll take mid and Microscopic Rick. The TCL Season 5 champions coming back with a vengeance to close out this game and put on an absolute clinic in the face of the Pickle packages, but it will not be the end of the game just yet.
That sucks. They committed a lot just for those kills, and it's not even worth it, which is so unfortunate. They lose so much on the bot side. It's so funny, like, the pick happens on TJ, Tiny Rick just walks a little bit up the river, and then he just TP's like in the middle of the team fight. He's like, yeah, this looks horrible. This looks a lot more fun with my 11-1 Echo. Let's just see how much of the base we can take. He just like stops. He just like completely just walks away from it, and they get so much pressure on the spot side of the map. And now, like, your wave clear is so awkward unless you're Seraphine on that bot side that you're always going to feel pressured on that bot side. You're just not going to have someone who's going to want to sit down there and clear the waves that's effective. You need Scion there to try to help absorb some of this massive damage they have. You need to try to layer some of the CC. Ahri's wave clear doesn't feel great into super minions. I don't know, this just... They got a good pick on TJ. They got a shutdown on Caridian.
TJ for inhib in tier 2, like, yeah, I'll take that trade.
Yeah.
You know, you get the shutdown, but what does it really matter, right? I mean, Droid had a beautiful ultimate, really well played on his part. They were able to get that shutdown, and crucially, it does go to Caridian as well, so that is very good, giving them some hope, but I mean, it still looks very grim. 11-1-3 on the Echo now.
Such an awkward spot here.
Oh, I really don't like this. This looks very good for Bunny Remix. The ult does come
That's
out here.
Rudy.
I'll take mid. He does get charmed though, but he does get the stun. The 3-hit passive is enough to be able to kill him as he falls to Bunny Remix, and now the ult comes out from I'll take mid. Make it a double kill for him. Throws up the mastery. He knows what he's about. And the Ahri from Caridian just has to run away with his tail tucked between her legs, and that's really all she wrote. You definitely don't want to be in that spot.
I really thought they were just going to try to like run straight bot and try to end the game. But
okay, hold on a second. Shield Bow actually comes out from TJ, and it does actually get the shutdown for him. I'll take mid, a little too big for his britches, but does actually almost get the Rabadon's death cap, which we do see in the inventory. He's looking for it. There it is. It is completed. Now has a stopwatch in hand and is even more unkillable and does a crap ton of damage as well. So, I mean, goodness gracious. I mean, that was very, very risky and very cocky from I'll take mid, but I mean, still gets it in the long run. Oh, actually, it's going to be a Last Whisper from Free-Jay, which I completely forgot that they changed it so that Last Whisper is actually in the recipe for Mortal Reminder, but I also believe that locks you out of building Lord Doms, crucially. So it will be a Mortal Reminder. I'm not sure if the Mortal Reminder is more worth it for him, because I feel like Droid could just pick up a Morelos. And,
heck no. I would put it on Droid too. Yeah,
I would just put it on Droid, to be honest. He's going to have a lot more AoE, right? Gets it off more often. Probably just better to go for the Lord Doms for Free-Jay, crucially. But I mean, you're probably thinking to yourself, right? Like they're probably in comms trying to figure out like who's gonna build the anti-heal, right? And I think Droid is probably looking for the demonic embrace, which I'm gonna be completely 100 no cap, keep it a stack. I don't think that's the move, but it also could be Rylai's on the side of Droid.
I would
So we'll
assume
have to
so.
see. Probably looking for that one beat drop to get the stun off, as we all know. Hilariously enough, a slow will proc the stun off of the beat drop. So, but I mean, just look at Troy. He's tickling Rudy, right?
Yeah,
Like it's literally 1 damage, right?
it just doesn't feel like it matters. And even though I'll take mid give that shutdown up top, look at the bot wave that you're gonna have pressure with Mundo, with super minions and Baron buff on them. Like Ari can't clear. They're gonna get sieged down out of this because they're afraid of the engage from Outtake mid, who's never afraid to go in.
Yeah, there's a fight though. Massive char coming on the Rudy and TJ. They're actually kind of chunked a little bit, so it does actually deter them a little bit from the engage. But here comes the Seraphine screaming at them.
You get some early kills though.
Doesn't matter at all though. Wait, actually,
gotta get the TJ.
I'm eating my words. It's a
They're not going for TJ.
TJ's looking for it. Does flash
There we
out,
go,
but
finally.
it's not gonna matter. It's a triple kill for Frege. How did they screw that up?
Like, apparently they just took too much poke, and then all of a sudden some critical people like Bunny and Rudy, who were already getting chunked, just ate way too much CC. And the next thing you know, no one can peel for TJ. Rick just has to dip out again because all the damage is gone. I'll take mid. Must have gotten CC locked there because he was never able to get his R off. There's a lot of freestanding gold on the map with these bounties. You need to try to find a way of how much you can push here. TP from Rick to mid lane. I don't know if he's able to stop this tower from going down, though. This might have been a weird TP. I still think they can at least get some bounty gold back.
Yeah, that is a very weird TP from Microscopic Rick, as now he
Well, he
has
flashes too.
Okay, he flashes. Yeah,
All right.
why?
All right. You take those
Okay.
if you're pickled packages. You get a free bounty and you get a free flash and TP off Moon. You can take that all day, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So, I mean, I want to bring your all attention to the Giga Chad Scion build of Jack Shows and Titanic Hydra. That is a build I have never seen on Scion, but I'm all here for it. Jack Shows obviously a very strong item. Bunny Remix also building it as well. But yeah, I mean, you definitely got it right, my friend. Like, they just took too much damage, and then the Seraphine ult is screaming at them, getting all of them trapped, and then all of a sudden, you're all just dead. And Frege picks up a triple kill as well. And once again, Caridian did actually get the kill onto the Vayne, so he is actually able to get the Shadow Flame, which is very crucial in these fights, being able to chunk down the tanks a little bit more and kind of get that extra damage going for him. That's going to be very, very good. Zanya's coming out for both mid laners very soon here for a 4th item for Echo, but a 3rd.
Don't like this
for
from
the
Caridian.
Ahri. Oh, that was cute. Coming out of Caridian, getting that flash there, and Rudy's just kind of like, in a little bit of an awkward spot, but it's not really going to matter. Just walk away. And I mean, this is just textbook League of Legends at this point, right? You got your Echo just, doing a 1-4 in the top side, 4 in the bot lane, trying to get that inhibitor, get that pressure. But once again, right, you have the Droid Seraphine able to get those ults off. If you're not careful, they could do the exact same thing to you again, and you don't have your Echo to. Oh, okay, Bunny Remix is actually going to go for it. Nice
Droid so slow.
Okay, but well done by TJ to be able to get that. The ultimate does come on to him as well. Does get the condemn off, well played from TJ. And I'll take mid is still hitting that top inhibitor. He knows that his team has it in the bag here. But a little bit of in a rough spot as TJ falls to Caridian once again, awkwardly. But the Nexus is exposed, right? And Bunny Remix is going to try to find any sort of damage he can to Caridian before he falls. As he does actually get the stopwatch out, he's actually almost able to kill them.
They're so split, though.
Avert your attention to the bot side here. I'll take mid, gets another kill as well. It's a double kill for him. And ladies and gentlemen, that is all she wrote. It will be a 2-1 in favor of the Dog Pound in dominating fashion in Game 3. 10k gold up. Wow.
Yeah,
Just, wow.
that fight where in the mid inhib that happened where it looked like Dog Pound could have maybe got a little extra gold from the map, made a good play. It kind of just turned into one of those things that sounds so BM. It's like, hey guys, we're losing really bad. We probably lost. You want to go to bed in 30 seconds or you want to go to bed in 2 minutes? It just didn't end up mattering at all. They got absolutely dumpstered in that last fight. That's
You
such
know,
a huge statement game there
there
for
is
Dog
a
Pound.
thing I like to call mental preservation, where tactics like that actually do help you, right? You're just like, all right, boys, all right, we screwed up in the early game. You guys want to go to bed now, or do you guys want to go to bed in 30 minutes?
Yeah.
Right. I do like that approach. Well, congratulations to the Dog Pound here. As always, it's that time again, ladies and gentlemen, to pick that MVP. We just got word from production that it cannot be I'll take mid. Unfortunately, that would have been my pick.
Oh,
I think
easy.
that's the pretty
Absolutely.
obvious pick. But the second pick, I honestly kind of want to talk to I want to talk to Bunny Remix a little bit here, because Bunny, regardless of how you feel about the Kane pick in the second game, I think they really did well with what they were given, and they were able to showcase their Lilia and their Kindred off in dominating fashion in both games. So I would like to talk to Bunny. This is also someone that I've never talked to either, so I just kind of want to get their input on how the team is going as well. So I don't know, Sandy, what do you think? Who's your MVP for tonight?
I think everyone played well and they all had their roles showcased well and they all showed their strengths well. I think I would, if we can't do mid, obviously, I think we would throw it to either Bunny or Rudy. Had a quiet game, but he had some good flanks that you could easily see go under the radar just because TJ in mid popped off so much. But Rudy played really well in his engages. He had good flanks. He was able to lock down targets that he needed to lock down, and they took it to their bot lane. So I say, I
Yeah.
say we, I say we, one of those two. I'll throw it to Rudy.
Yeah, let's give it to Rudy. I like that. That's a good point. Rudy did have a lot of really good flanks, had a lot of good engages, had a lot of good roaming potential, and there he is, the man of the hour, Rudy. Welcome to the broadcast. Congratulations on your win. Let's talk a little bit about how your team's mental is going into week 3 now, next week. Tell me a little bit about your strategy and your drafting plans. How are you feeling
Yeah.
tonight?
Well, first of all, nice to be here, boys. I was expecting it to be Bunny. He did great, but initial sentiments, it was awesome to get to play with our whole team. Speedy was a real homie for subbing last week, but having TJ back was amazing. They got the brother synergy in the top jungle, and when I say synergy, what I mean is they just never stop talking to each other and just flaming back and forth. It's funny until we're trying to play League of Legends, but nah,
Are
it's
are
really
are
just it's a great vibe.
Are Bunny and TJ, they're brothers, right?
Yeah, yeah. Bunny's older.
Oh, okay. I know who Bunny is now. I lied. I have talked to him before.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, awesome, awesome.
But
Good,
our
good.
draft strats are, hey TJ, what do you wanna do this game? And then he kind of just decides it, um, which I'm fine with because I'm not smart enough to know. But TJ claims he's never lost a draft. Get in the chat if you think that's a lie. But I think
That's a lie.
you know what,
That's a lie.
we got the dubs tonight. We're just allergic to game twos.
Yeah, I feel like the draft in game 2 was uh I don't want to say ambitious because you guys obviously did play very well in game 2. I just do think there were a couple of blunders and just, I mean, obviously, right, the Evelyn and
Yeah, I mean,
the
I'm excited to go back and watch game two because I think at one point we had like a 7-1, an 8-1 Jinx, and it's
Yeah.
yes.
hard to lose a game from that point, right? They had a dive comp, they never wanted to front to back, and our peel was I have to keep off a Kiana with a spell shield and an Evelyn who I don't know where they are, plus a Shen ult. You know, it's not like I was playing Lulu or
Cleanse.
anything where I can just like keep her alive for days. So it was a lot harder to play. And like shout out to the Pickled packages, they made that one miserable. There were so many points in the late game. We're like, oh, we're gonna win this fight. We're gonna win this fight. And oh, just not quite. But yeah, game two happened, but games 1 and 3 I think went really well for us, obviously, and we popped off on them.
Yeah,
TJ may not have
absolutely.
lost a draft ever, but he lost you guys in draft with not taking cleanse that game.
Hmm.
We talked about it.
Imposter. The
I mean,
imposter.
it's fine. It's fine. TJ popped off. Everyone popped off. Like
Yeah,
I
he
want to
did.
shout out Rick's Mundo in that third game. Obviously, as you said, Eli just solo kill after solo kill and then 2v1 killing both of them. Like did so much, but he is one of two people on this team with a bum leg, and you know you gotta elevate that thing in ice, and the man was in pain, so he had to get running and take care of it.
Yeah, absolute Giga Chad. Well, congratulations on your win once again, Rudy. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we end the broadcast tonight? You played very well. I was very impressed with your play. You've come a long way. Um,
Thanks,
And
man.
and
I
all
mean,
in all these TCL seasons, I'll tell you what, I've seen your progress, and it's staggering to see. Like it's just
yeah,
it's
we're
incredible.
3 for 3 on Leona tonight. They kept banning my Rakan, which makes me feel two different ways. One, hey, they have to ban it, you know. But also, damn, I really want to play Rakan because I just always want to play Rakan. It's the most fun champion in the game.
True.
But yeah, only last thoughts are just like we have a great team, and no other team is going to get us to game 3. So enjoy the show while it lasted because we're about to roll the rest of this split.
Nice.
I love it. Well, thank you so much, Rudy, for your time. Once again, GG's to the Dog Pound taking tonight here, putting themselves in a 1-1 standing, 0-2 for the Pickled packages. Off to a little bit of a rough start, but once again, anything can happen in TCL. That's the beauty and the magic of these series and of this competition. So, thank you so much for joining us here tonight in week 2, day 2 of TCL season 6. My name is Toasty. Thank you so much, Sandy, for coming on tonight. Greatly appreciate it. You absolutely killed it on broadcast tonight, and we will see you all very soon. Take care now.
So yeah.